Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Ketchup, joined by the very wonderful Falcon, and it is a pleasure to run you through the European Mortal Kombat 11 action here for EVO 2021 online. I think our top 8 bracket that we'll be going over real soon, Shav, I mean, this is going to be a fine demonstration over what European MK11 currently looks like.
Yeah, that is for sure, Ketchup. And I mean, let's face it, right? The players over here in this top 8, we have seen time and time again over here in European top 8s, really showcasing just how strong Europe is in Mortal Kombat 11 with a lot of diverse talent coming from a load of different countries.
It is indeed, and I'm sure we'll be looking at the bracket real soon, but I mean, just looking at the players here, we have Mirko versus Makaran, so that's Scorpion versus Scarlet. Javier versus Desarted, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. Did I mention we have Scorpion on lock over here in EU? Serious Hitman and Asadamasa, very likely to be Cetrion from Asadamasa, but the Terminator from the Russian lad himself. And then K-Top and Arn Kratos, so Greece versus Russia. Don't get it twisted, Arn Kratos is from Russia. Sorry about that, folks. But Shang Tsung and, as of recently, Noob Saibot, and then K-Top rocking that high-octane Jackie Briggs. So, I mean, like I said, perfect demonstration of what online EU MK looks like. But every single one of these matches can, and in some cases has been, a grand finals of some sort over the... At this point, year and a half, we've been doing online. I mean, this is the big one for all the players, EVO 2021, but it's all a part of PlayStation tournaments. And we've had Open Series, FGC Arcade, Pro Competition, and this has been almost 2 years now of the same players grinding and just getting better and better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's players like MK Javier, right, that started, you know, a little bit on just very much an online player, you know, played a lot of Combat League. I'm sure many people that were playing early Mortal Kombat 11 very much remember Javier just from being, you know, an online Scorpion and kind of just being a very active player in ranked, and he's leveled up so much over time from continuously entering things such as the Open Series, entering various different tournaments that we've had over here in Europe, wherever they may be, and he's done exceptionally well for himself. But not to take anything away from anyone else, you know, we've seen Makaran and Vianality over there as well. How far that guy has come over here to make it into winners top 8. What a showing for himself, this young free agent over here from Austria. And Serious Hitman, you know, a very much a prominent force within the CIS community, a very active streamer, and likes to play a lot of characters that you don't often see in the highest level to play.
Yeah, favorite character has always been Raiden, but as of recently in tournament doesn't play loads of Raiden anymore. It does lie in Terminator. Has used Rambo recently, so we might, on a small chance, probably not against Cetron. I don't imagine that matchup's particularly fun, but we do see a lot of Terminator from him. But our first matchup, Mirko versus Makaran, it's two absolute kind of masters of their character.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's really no other way to put it. You have the best European Scorpion proven in tournament, which is closely contested by Javier. I think they are top 2 without question. But Makaran, my personal favorite Scarlet player to watch, period. A day 1 specialist. And for those that don't know, we might be kind of refreshing a little bit that happened from MK11 Ultimate, right? The game that introduced Rain, Melina, and Rambo. Came with it some changes to competitive. You can now do custom variations. You can take whatever move you want, for the most part, in whatever combination that you want. And that helped out Scarlet quite a lot, I think.
It really did. I mean, we're starting to see, like, I think Europe especially, you know, I mean, shout outs to players like Twixie over in NA who definitely have been doing the work with Scarlet, you know, but there are, I mean, let's face it, right? Players that are, you know, not in this bracket, like Josh TQ and stuff, have been doing work with Scarlet on top of Makaran, and we've got a lot of, you know, really, really solid level Scarlets out here. But Makaran definitely, you know, has pretty much defined this character in a way that is so comfortable for how he wants to play this game and how he wants to approach it, that customs really allowed him to kind of, like, you know, extenuate that a bit further. It looks like we're going over into that first game catch-up between Makaran and Rise Mirko.
Now, this matchup is a really interesting one to me because it is the heavy-hitting nature of Scarlet, but this is not the kind of matchup that she's able to constantly establish full screen. You know, she is a keep away character, she is a ranged character, but Scorpion's teleport, which, by the way, this variation of Mirko, the Reaper, this is Searing Rage. This is not cancel teleport, this is damage. Death spin, extra strings. Mirko knows that he's going to have to throw down in this matchup, and he's taken a variation that gives him damage and increased pressure. Speaking of which, extra damage, thank you very much. Lovely flawless block to save his skin, but it's not enough. That death spin, Falcon, it does great damage, but also chip damage.
It does so much of that as well. Macaran missing the flawless block off the down one into it. I mean, you can flawless block it to mitigate that chip damage, but it is still gonna really hurt you if you miss that one in a pretty much near guaranteed situation. But Macaran is gonna start using this Blood Tongue to establish a little bit of space over here and try and control the neutral against Mirko. But Mirko is sitting on that Flame Spear buff a little bit longer. You know that's gonna be amping up those throws, increasing the damage.
Oh, that classic down 4. Checking it always. No counter hit on the forward 3-4 though, so we're not going to get a crushing blow from that one.
Yeah, but oh my goodness.
Good reactions from this guy. Unbelievable.
And the throw escape as well. The 4-3-4 fishing for the KB right there to close things out. Uses the 2-1 stagger for the plus frames into the backing off. Tried to go for the punish on the forward 2 again from Scarlet, but missed that one. And Macaran gets himself the forward throw. This is definitely within the realm of comebacks right here. Catch up with that fatal blow on deck.
Plus frames. Respect, but there's the immediate flawless block. Could have been a full combo, but I think he's just keeping an eye on the fact that Macaran might be able to answer back. Scarlet, hang on a minute. That forward throw, not going to kill, but we're close. Mirko just needs anything. Oh, there's the tentacle, never mind.
The Blood Tongue cometh catch up, and right, he's also got the escape failed as well for the last round, which is arguably the best time you could really hold on to that, as he's got the throw KB in both directions with Scarlet, but a nice pickup right here from Mirko. He's going to spend both these offensive bars. Drops the combo, though. Macaran getting a little bit of life back with both these blood shots right there.
Stagger game, something that's going to work out, keeps the same standing situation. Plus frames, but again, there's that classic Scorpion maneuver, right? Challenging plus frames with knockback from teleport. It just lets you kind of reposition. Speaking of which, not quite there is Macaran. That's the punish! That might come close to killing or kill on its own. The damage of Boiling Point is absolutely unbelievable. Which again goes into, we talk about customs, right? Being able to take base Scarlet and just throw Boiling Point on top for extra damage is very, very strong.
That is crazy. I mean, Macaran really turned that game around. Even having the throw KB on deck, decided not to actually use it. Mirko getting, you know, clipped by 3 Blood Tongues back to back was a little bit disastrous for him. You could tell he was getting a little bit antsy towards the end of that game, but he's going to have to keep composure if he wants to come out on top.
But it's what you have to do. These two players likely could go into a game 5, and it's like I said, it's not your traditional matchup because Scorpion's base kit, the teleport mostly, lets him challenge range characters. So you take someone like Scarlet, who normally wants to establish distance. Now she no longer can do that. She has to fight up close. But with that, Macaran knows, and he's kind of playing around the stagger game, the plus frames, which she didn't always have. She was given them, you know, a few patches down the line. But importantly, flawless blocks. When you flawless block this character, Scarlet can struggle. But if the opponent flawless blocks a lot of things, it's now up to you to either not dedicate to these strings, or sometimes you can take parry. And that's something Macaran has been known to do. So he's quite smart with that.
He is, and I think that there's a lot of like advanced mind games you get because the character is riddled with flawless blockable gaps in her strings, like at the high level, you know? But Mirko gonna start things off over here. He gets that back 3 to knock Macaran down to the corner. A combo drop gonna get swiftly punished with the wake up buttons from Macaran. He's gonna activate the Blood Rain right here. Tags him with the forward 2 into the Boiling Point. That's gonna be a nice turn to damage.
Ooh. Doesn't quite manage to get the blood ball, but, you know, no whiff punish, so could be a lot worse here. Macaran, piece by piece, has just chunked it down that health. The instant jump in. There's that back one. Nice little hit confirmed too. Mirko, I like that choice. Goes into the spear first because it just maximizes the unbreakable damage. But you break eventually, you've lost almost a full combo anyway. By the way, we're going to amplify that Boiling Point. Give me the damage, please.
25% on that right now. I mean, this is... Oh, the spear didn't work out as it gets swiftly punished right there. Macaran gonna take himself up around over here in game number 2. He still has that throw KB should he need it as well in this round. And speaking of throws, seeing a forward throw from Mirko over here, who might go for the flaming... No, he does not go for the spear buff. He's gonna opt to hold this down. Death spin reversal didn't work out. No punish from Macaran.
A little bit too far away on that one. Flawless block into throw. Mirko, he's not going to be able to get a launch off that. For those that don't know, when you flawless block, you can actually do an attack from it. It costs 1 bar of each. So if you haven't got one from either side, you can't go for any kind of punish, I guess. 1-1-2.
Very true.
Oh, parry!
All right, now throw KB for both players as well. They both had that escape failed. A nice down 2 pickup forces the breakaway for Macaran right there. Macaran going to start staggering, Rick his way in, trying to apply all this pressure on Mirko, but Mirko fighting back, using these plus frames to try and find a counter poke situation, but commits to the 4-3-2 teleport. Macaran going to build back some life with that punish as well.
Scarlet, one of the few characters that can heal, and in that situation, you don't go for a launch and you heal, it just gives you health back. It means they can't challenge, and he's dead again, Macaran. Are we going to see a Scarlet in winners finals of an EVO tournament? You never thought you'd see the day, but trust me, I say out there that Macaran is one of, if not my favorite Scarlet players to watch. This is why, because the guy is just efficient. It's the #1 word you can use to describe him. He's used this character since day one. He knows the matchup. There's probably some players out there that might not even like this matchup very much because Scorpion can shut down a lot of those basic tools. But Macaran is just so good on offense that he can compete with the best of them. And it's impressive.
There's also the, the added factor of the fact that Macaran has extensively played in tournaments and been playing against players like Mirko, like Javier, like Chumi, the other Mercer, the other Scorpion players over here. It's like we're seeing just the culmination of experience being applied over here against the best, like the #1 Scorpion player that we have over here in Europe. And Mirko, although he's doing well in this each individual game, each individual round and stuff, he's not really been able to close out a single game so far.
No, and it's just coming down to those clutch little moments where maybe it's a flawless block, maybe it's just a little punish, or it's the stagger game. Mostly it's the stagger game, which is really funny to mention, Falcon, because this is what Mirko has picked this variation to do.
Yeah,
by the way, that jump kick option select, man, is surgical with that. Any jump kick on hit, you know it's turning into a spear.
For sure, for sure. And now after that 30% right there, he's going to get that forward throw for another 13. Jumping his way in, Macaran tried to get that, I guess, a late anti-air over there, but Macaran's going to find the hit over here. No commitment into the boiling point, which is really, really important, and definitely tried to maximize on the punish right there.
Ooh, looks like he almost buffered that 1-1.
I love that decision. That was so smart right there.
It messes up your flawless block timing. You try and flawless block and he parries it out of nowhere and then you second guess it. Completely opens up what Macaran can do offensively. However, with that fatal blow on lock, unfortunately he won't have a chance to do it. Mirko lands that first round on the board here this next game. Looking at the meter, it is a battle of resources here, folks. It really is. There's going to be more access to breakaway with this because Mirko doesn't have the cancelable teleport, which costs a bar of defense to use. But Macaran, he can keep things unbreakable if he wants. You can only break combos in this game when you get launched. Never forget that.
Yeah, definitely. The flawless block up 2 did not work out. The back 3 bait was perfect right there. Spacing from Macaran, but it's good to see Mirko with the throw escape as well. I was just about to mention, I think that was that a shimmy or bait on the flawless block with the 4-3-4?
Well, either way, good damage anyway. The heal. Oh, and the cheeky little trip. The range of Scarlet's sweep is so good.
It really is. Now you can see Mirko. Tried to go for the throw first of all. But
no, but you know what happened? Every time Mirko has flawless blocked that string without meter to launch it, he's gone for a throw. Macaran called it out with a micro dug.
Yeah, instantly. He also got himself the 2-on-2, just clipping Mirko on the approach right there, ending in that boiling point. Huge damage right here for Scarlet, as it's almost 35%. The Blood Tongue didn't work out. Mirko didn't believe, though, in the throw escape. Macaran alleviating some of that pressure, building back some of the life, checks in with the back 2, flawless block on the up 3, but no punish. Oh my goodness, catch up. The down 2 from Mirko.
Not a crushing blow that we've seen all that much in this series. Tries to interrupt and gets counter hit for his troubles. No meter to extend it though. Mirko has to keep it simple. Still better than nothing. Gets a knockdown, but with it being match point, Macaran, this is the moment to make a real statement. With definitely one of the game's weaker characters. Can't confirm. Fatal blow though, especially now. Hang on a minute. Anything into fatal blow, either side will do this, especially for Macaran. He's gonna stagger it, doesn't want a flawless block. No!
No, he got the punish! Oh my god, that was the set right there, Macaran. You don't want to choke this out. If you are Macaran right now, Mirko with another chance over here. Gonna try and make his way in, but got anti-air, forced to breakaway. Oh my goodness, and the down 1 meaty to close things out. Macaran with a 3-0 over Mirko to kick things off over here.
And I'm gonna say, Falcon, we saw some nerves. We saw some nerves that we don't normally see from these two players. And I think that is that EVO pressure. Even in the online realm, Evo nerves can be a real thing. And in that final round, the punish on the teleport that never was, can we imagine if there was a reverse sweep in the making from a missed teleport punish? Something that you can punish with your eyes closed normally? Good thing for Makaran to keep his head in the game and just look for that jump in. And that jump in even on its own was a risk, because that jump could have been a bait into a teleport. You know, that kind of 1995 classic, right? Scorpion players and Ultimate MK3 all day, every day doing that. And able to keep his head in there and able to take it. Yo, Scarlet in a winner's finals is not something you see, let alone a tournament of this caliber against the opponents of this caliber. That is an impressive statement to make if you're in Makaran's position.
It really is, and I think it's even more impressive knowing that it came from a 3-0 as well. Like, Makaran just seemed to have the composure game on point throughout that entire set. I was actually going to mention the fact that Mirko was keeping his composure really, well in check. He was staying composed for a lot of it, but we kind of saw, like, bits of hastiness coming out from him, a bit of antsiness here and there, and Makaran just really capitalized on all of that. But it isn't the end of the road for Mirko over here in this top 8, of course. He's going to be knocked down into that loser's bracket, and he does have the advantage of an extra round because he came in from winners. So Makaran obviously can sit nice and comfortably right now, probably taking a great sigh of relief, just sitting comfortably in that winners finals in a great position. But the next set that we have in our hands catch up, MK Javier and Disarded. This is a matchup for the books. This is a canon matchup between Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yeah, it's a matchup plucked right out of 1992. It's funnily enough, in MK11, I think one of the more, for me, enjoyable matchups to watch, because you have two characters that are rather explosive. As Makaran now sits in that winners finals, we'll be seeing who he's going to be fighting, because Javier plays a similar style to Mirko, but is more prone to sticking to kind of like one variation. Very, I think, interested in keeping that cancelable teleport. But then often it's the spear buff, which kind of just makes your throw game a lot better, makes your combo damage a bit more powerful as well. But it really comes down to that grab game. Disarted, it's really weird that we're sitting here, right, talking about, oh, it's going to be Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, because Disarted made a name for himself as one of the absolute best Shang Tsung players. And it wasn't any old Shang. There was a time before Ultimate where everyone was playing Warlock Shang Tsung, which was the ground eruption, keep away, and that was it. There was an extra projectile there, but no one was picking Warlock for that. They were using it for the ground eruption. Yeah. Disarted was always known for using the morphs. You know, being able to have those different ninja morphs for the ninjas that didn't quite make the cut, right? You got the Smoke Shake, the Rain Super Kick at the time, before Rain became a roster member himself. Reptile Slide, and then Ermac Lift. That Ermac Lift is the big one for Disarted. And we'd be talking about that all day. We would be talking about that move in this set had he not spent the last couple of months refining a Sub-Zero, which he uses almost more than Shang these days.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, it's a pick that suits him incredibly well. Whether he's playing community events, whether he's playing official tournaments, we're seeing Disarded really bring the heat, ironically speaking, with Sub-Zero. Like, and, I mean, let's face it, right? He's over here in the winners top 8, having 3-0'd Mercer and Arn Kratos. Both back-to-back to make it into winners top 8. That is not easy. That is a very, very difficult thing to do, because Mercer we've seen do incredibly well in the Open Series monthly finals. We've seen Arn Kratos doesn't need an introduction. We all know Arn. And to do that and to make your, just make your statement over here with a relatively fresh character in the grand scheme of things is really impressive. I mean, we all know that Sub is a mixed machine. He's going to hurt a lot. And for a player like Disarded, who spent so long kind of culminating his skills and evolving his play in the game, it now just feels like Sub just seems to be the right pick for how he wants to play.
He's an aggressive player. He likes to be up close and brawl, and I think he must see that. From what I can kind of see on social media when I see Disarded talk about his characters, it's that Sub-Zero is just a better character for him, and more importantly too, I think Sub-Zero has a lot of better matchups. You're hard pressed to find a character that really gives Sub-Zero like an absolute massive amount of trouble. It's just the nature of how he's been put together in MK11. He's got that overhead low game, something that not a lot of characters have at all. He has great conversion potential, phenomenal damage. His grab game is very Mortal Kombat 11, because you've got the crushing blow on the escape failed of the reverse throw, but his forward throw gives him loopable plus frames. Yeah, exactly. He has one of the most practical crushing blows in the entire game, so we'll find out. We'll find out what character gets picked, but I think Sub-Zero is the safe bet.
And also, I mean, in a matchup against Scorpion as well, like, having a slide on deck is really important. You actually have the option to punish a lot of things you normally wouldn't, but he's actually gonna start it out. Shang Tsung over here, the character that, as Ketchup mentioned before, he made a name for himself with, but that, you see the air to air punished him on the way down from Javier. Dropped that combo a little bit, but a flawless block up 3 from that jump in.
I am so happy to see the Shang Tsung back into play. I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen Desarted use Shang in forever, and this was the character that put him on the competitive map. Now, I didn't see the variation that was picked, but I'm fair to assume that there's going to be a couple of morphs in here, and there's the corpse drop. Very, very important for Shang Tsung to establish that ranged game when possible. Remember, Scorpion, naturally just able to shut that down. Oh, looking for the reptile slide. Doesn't quite land it, though.
That would have been max range as well, right? That would have triggered KB.
Plus frames. Wow, Javier challenged the plus frames? That's risky. Oh,
Really?
come here! He's dead. Mac, slam, slam, down 2, round win. Now, I should probably mention, especially with this variation, ending combos in down 2 looks a bit ugly, doesn't it? But with these moves of Shang, it actually is his optimal damage. So you'll be seeing that a lot for this variation.
Yeah, I mean, like, down 2 being that, you know, single normal that does the highest amount of damage as well. The back one is a reptile slide. If I'm not mistaken, that is a 2-frame fuzzy, which becomes infinitely harder to do. It's not really ridiculously difficult.
The reptile slide it also replaces the kind of charge that you have, which normally gives you access to combo ender damage. It's just that reptile slide is a bit slow at the end of combos. So that's where the uppercut becomes more apparent. Desarted, only a little bit of work left to do. I love the advancing quickly. The range of that is so impressive for challenging this. The 2-1. No confirm though. I think Javier was really expecting it to be used on block. 2-1 being +2 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, +2, I believe.
Oh! There's the mix up!
Yeah, not enough to kill though. You see Javier with another chance at life over here. I maybe tried to go for a flawless block over there, but didn't have the meter anyway to go for a flawless block reversal. And Desarted gonna clean house with that game number 1, ending in a very stylish Ermac brutality. Shout out to all you Ermac fans out there. And, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm also super happy to see that he's actually playing the Shang. I mean, he really is playing, you know, that evolved version of Soul Eater Shang that we were seeing from him for many months. Which is just, you know, picking a few of the morphs, but also you sacrifice just one thing to get the corpse drop. Corpse drop is an incredibly high damaging move. It's a very good move to be able to check someone regardless of where they are in the screen. And to add that to an overall arsenal where you get the OS from successful jump kicks on hit into Ermac lift, you're pretty much consistently finding a resource of damage if your opponent happens to get clipped.
And for the sake of it being Evo, let me just quickly give you a recap. The jump in OS that we're talking about halfway through the game's lifespan, there was introduced a mechanic of if you flawless block a jump in, that move, or that jump in, excuse me, can't be special cancelled. But what that means is if you jump in with a kick or whatever, and then you input a special move, on block, the move doesn't come out when you land. On hit, the move does. So some moves that are very good at picking up an opponent that's been knocked up, you can kind of just input that move and it comes out on hit and doesn't on block. It's a built-in option select. The Ermac lift is one of the best moves in the game at enforcing. Every time Desarted does a jump kick, you bet he's doing Ermac lift just in case it lands.
Yeah, high reward, no risk really from just dialing it in over there. And I mean, especially with a character like Shang as well, who has a notoriously good jump 3. It's like, you really just, you know, it's even more threatening. But MK Javier getting himself a nice lead over here. Finds the opening hit, gonna end in that spear, knocks him out of the corner, but a whiff punish on that poke. Javier on a bit of a tear right now in round number 1 of game number 2.
Definitely expecting some kind of stagger there, perhaps. Wow, just a teleport on its own. The fearlessness of Javier is going to take that round all the same. There's one thing the Shang variation does, it's damage. But I think that Javier's been playing around that poke-heavy game inside very well. That down 4, so good at giving Shang Tsung plus frames. But a couple of times there, Javier baited it out. Got that back 1 mid and completely blew it up.
Seeing Javier as well trying to bait. He was fishing for that corpse drop as well, again with that teleport cancel. Didn't quite work out for him. Back 3 gonna get blocked over here. Desarted trying to dash in, checking him with the 1-1s.
The down 4, plus frames are coming. No, he staggers it. Looks for the jump in, but the immediate read on the teleport, that was a call out on the jump. Now, there's no combo there, but what Reptile does is allow him to side switch. Put Scorpion right back in the corner. The stagger game begins. Now, that forward throw does less damage than other throws, but it heals a couple of %. Lovely flawless block on the anti-air, though. No option select for you, sir.
Yeah, truly ludicrous. Again with the back one into Reptile Slide. He hasn't done back one down two a single time. And for those unaware, if he does the other option from that string, if the overhead only connects and your opponent's blocking low, you get a launching KB from that.
Uh-huh. And it's very good indeed. Desarted takes the round, though, keeping a lot of the important resources still in check. Importantly, ending the round in forward throw.
Oh, he used it!
The breaker.
Mentioned it.
Yep. I mean, there reaches a point where Javier is just so sick of getting Reptile sliding him. He's like, nah, I'm going to block it at last. And then the one time you do, what it doesn't do is it allows him to use his breaker. He's lost all of his meter, so now if Desarted hits him, that's big damage.
It really is, but the same can be said about Desarted as well. If he manages to get himself opened up by Javier over here, it could be a nice chunk of damage for Javier. Okay, closing the gap, the down two did not connect against Javier. Look at all that damage.
Chases down the wake-up roll! Gets plus frames. The 1-1-2 stagger. Definitely looks
down two down
kind of down two! The down twos are extreme.
Oh my god!
Fatal blow! Now this won't kill. This is not going to kill, but it's going to come close. Desarted. The question is, how much defensive bars does he have? Will Last Breath save him?
I mean, it's a tricky one. Javier isn't running the spear, is he? The death spin. Oh, the down one check! Ah, off of his head!
Oh.
My goodness.
That was good.
That down one check was everything right there. Because at that point, the moment you're hit by that down one, you're guessing for game, buddy. That was a tough one right there, and Desarted managing to take that one, ending it again, once again, in these brutalities. I mean, ending it in style, always going to be a nice bit of a nice bonus points right there, brownie points for everyone else. But either way, I mean, Javier now, once again, we're here in a 2-0 situation right now in winners. Like, what's going on right now, Ketchup?
It makes me feel somewhat nostalgic because we're seeing the Shang Tsung again. I truly didn't even know if we'd see this character picked because it's not been a common pick for Desarted for a fair few months now. Now, I want to kind of give a little bit of extra context, I guess, because Desarted is a player that I would consider one of the most improved players in the kind of online realm. Since Open Series began for PlayStation tournaments over a year and a half ago at this stage, it was Desarted would appear in these top 8s and he'd kind of get joint 5th maybe, and that would consistently be where his journey ended. But he was just so hungry to get better. And get better he did, because now here we are, one game away from being winners finals to join Makaran. EVO 2021 online for EU MK11, an impressive result it would be. But the Scorpion players falling a little bit short. I kind of feel bad for the Scorpion fans out there. Javier and Mirko not having an amazing day so far, just not able to get that extra one up at the end.
Very true so far. We'll have to see if Javier is able to turn things around right here. Still has, you know, a chance. But Desarted right now definitely has the steering wheel in his hands. He's going to get opened up by the counter hit from that forward 3-4 KB. Gets reached over here in the corner. Nice block on that back three as well. Those haven't been connecting with Desarted very much, mind you, this entire set.
Dude, every time that forward 2-4-2 comes out, plus on block that is, and Javier has challenged it with a button. I think Desarted is expecting a little bit more respect, and he's going for kind of slower buttons. No, what? Yep,
and that was a free KB punish on the forward 2-4-3, and just like that, Desarted now on set point against Javier. A very questionable decision with the 1-1 into the fatal, but I guess he knew he had the extra round to play with should he need to.
Now, what is a problem for Javier now, on top of the fact that Desarted is on match point, is that the forward 3-4 crushing blow was spent. So that forward 3 is not a button that Desarted needs to fear as much now. He gets hit by that by itself, it's going to do nothing. So, in this case though, Javier doesn't quite get the combo. There's the mix-up again, the side switch. The wake-up teleport. That's not a wake-up attack in this game, but
yeah, that's not a wake-up
right
attack.
There.
Okay, teleport again, try and check with this back three. You can see Desarted fishing right there. The forward 2 into the super kick cancel, gonna build back a tiny bit of life over there. Flips him on the way in, catch up. Down 2 to knock him out the corner a little bit, but he's gonna get that side switch.
Forward throw as well, fatal blow. Don't get hit. Do not get hit, Javier. The flawless block is delicious. What a choice. And you know he's got it. So good. Desarted really feeling himself there, going for the jump kick. That would have won the game because fatal blow is free after Ermac lift. But Javier, the flawless block. What a decision.
Very, very clutch. I mean, Javier's been dealing with the jump in so well, whether it's trip guard teleports, whether it's flawless blocks, whether it's anti-airs. He's been dealing with them very, very well right here. As we're seeing a little bit of momentum. trying to swing in the favor of Javier right now, but that down 2 crushing blow is going to be a big resource of damage right there. Over 40% for Shang Tsung.
Oh god, over half of it is gone. Falcon, this could be the last ride in this round.
It's going to be real tricky.
Oh no!
I mean, one good combo checked on the way in once again. The counter hit down to Ender. Disarded now just comfortably holding block. Doesn't have much to worry about, but the forward 4 is going to clip him. Javier spending all this bar, drops the combo.
No, it's too far away! Down 4 into Skull, a little bit more needed. Javier tries to empty jump and he scouts it out. Perfectly disarted. MK2 up in here as a classic friendship comes out. And that now means Makaran and Disarted is going to be our winners finals. Shang Tsung versus Scarlet. Here for you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, that's crazy because both of our very prominent and very high-placing Scorpion players over here in Europe have now just been dropped into losers 3-0. But we know what they turn into when they're in losers bracket. If anything, they become even scarier. But now they're playing with that last tournament life.
I mean, we're going to be getting through this bracket lightning fast. And before we go to a break, I'd like to shout out the Tenno Media merch store. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you can scan a QR code right here, or you can visit tenno.gg/merch. Support the homies. Support everyone involved in this. You can see all the stuff here. You've got who avoiding the puddle packs, actually. That's the first time I've seen that slide. Let's go, Aris. But if you just want to support everyone involved, just get involved, scan your QR code, go on the website, and contribute to the cause, I suppose, as EVO continues, and so do we. In about 3 minutes, we'll be back with more.
Welcome back, everyone. You're currently watching the EU portion of MK11 section here at EVO 2021 online. My name's Ketchup, joined by Falcon. We have had some interesting results already. Makaran versus Disarted in the winners finals. The young generation of EU really does shine forward at this point, and I'm happy. I'm all for it. But up next,
yeah, man.
Losers bracket. Shav, it's going to be Hitman, Serious Hitman versus Asadamata. Probably Terminator versus Cetrion. Let's go.
Most likely, yeah. I mean, it's this bracket's so crazy because, like, you know, we're either gonna see. So Hitman is very much a wild card. I would like to say he's probably the wild card in this top 8 because he's got a very unpredictable kind of playstyle, and he has an arsenal of characters that you don't often get super, you know, amazing experience against. So Hitman's style versus Asadamatsi's like very orthodox defensive gameplay with Cetrion could be, you know, a very momentum-based matchup between either player. We're either going to see one person get frustrated and being kept out all the time, because Aso is by far one of the best defensive players that we have in the entire continent, in this entire region. And Serious Hitman, on the other hand, definitely likes to mix things up, you know, unafraid to do things that are very legit. Sometimes we'll throw out a few gimmicks here and there, but it works. And he does them very cleverly and with things in mind. So he's able to play this this very niche gameplay, and I think that Terminator really is that right character to allow him to kind of, you know, mess with the flow of the game and kind of get into Aso's head a little bit.
Hey, look, I often say that Serious Hitman is possibly the most unconditionable player in the world. Like, he does what he wants. That sometimes comes with it.
Yeah.
Whether it works or not, sometimes he'll try and, you know, play his distinct style, and if it doesn't work, he'll kind of go down with the ship. But it can be difficult to deal with. And I think Terminator, of all the characters really on the roster, that's the best character to pick here. Again, in a big part thanks to Ultimate introducing custom variations.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
It's not just the Dark Fate show as it was before, where every Terminator player just picked that variation and that was it. Now you can take the Teleport, which he didn't have in any preset variation before Ultimate. You can now take a wonderful mix of moves. And I think his most common variation so far that we see Hitman play is the Air Vice Grip, which is an air throw. He can pick up on it, he can confirm, get a lot of mileage out of his jump kicks. The Teleport, which you'll see how good that is if he picks Terminator. I don't even need to explain.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then the Running Man, quite appropriately named. It just gives him layers of mix on top, damage, combo potential, the whole shebang, really.
And you know, the air throw is by far one of the most entertaining things I think that we often see from people that do play high-level Terminator, you know. And to be honest, I think it's a very good loadout choice, especially against a character like Cetrion, because her tools are very defined, you know. She has a very defined distinctive defensive kind of playstyle. You can play her very aggressively as well. She can be a very obnoxious character to be on the receiving end of. Very oppressive. But Terminator's mobility and just kind of the low recovery of the air grab, the general buttons that Terminator has, and the way the Hitman plays could be a very interesting matchup that we're going to have between each other. You know, between both these players.
I think it's two players as well that are kind of just known for using different characters. And I think Asadamasa, day one Setrio main, right? So that comes with it some experience.
Yeah, and we just want to give a quick shout-outs as well to MetaView, the official highlights partner of EVO 2021, as you can see right there on the bottom of the screen, as Ketchup just pointed to. Download the app or visit all the best EVO moments you can by heading over to evo.metaview.gg. So get yourself involved.
Simple as that, folks. And we'll be jumping into our next match as soon as we can. And let's talk about this matchup a little bit. Terminator versus Cetrion. It's a matchup that Cetrion's going to have advantage on the screen almost everywhere. She's one of the best characters in the game. Some people have her as absolute number one. And I think that's a fair statement for sure. Tends to be a toss-up between Jackie or Cetrion these days.
Pretty much an undeniable top three is a pretty safe blanket to put her into, I guess.
Yeah. But it means that Terminator, he's going to have to play her game. Normally, when you look at this matchup, normally Terminator is going to have to work his way in. He's going to have to be very patient, whatever it is. But the variation that Hitman likes to take, being so teleport heavy, means that maybe not so much. I think that Hitman is going to be strong-arming his way into point blank, and it's going to be Asadamasa that has to play around him.
I'm curious to know of Hitman if, you know, the set doesn't really go as planned. Let's say it is 2-0 in favor of Asadamasa, and you're on that last tournament life. You're over here in loser's bracket as well. I wonder if we're actually going to see the Raiden, because Hitman has definitely, you know, solidified a name for himself, as you were talking about earlier on, by having a very strong Raiden, but kind of being, you know, a very, very... as you were saying, unconditionable. He's just all over the place. Just all over the place with these spark ports, and you know that can be a very, very frustrating thing to deal with if you're playing Cetrion, because one wrong read from yourself or one right read from the Raiden player could be disaster.
Well, it all stems from his beginnings, for me personally, in something like Mortal Kombat X, where he was one of the first players that was really using Displacer Raiden, which, for those that don't know, quick mini history lesson, it was the variation Raiden had where he had the teleport. And it was the only variation Raiden had a teleport in. That kind of carried over to MK11, where that's an equipable move now, the teleport. Yeah. But he was the most teleport-happy Raiden I had ever seen back in 2015, 2016. So when I saw him playing like Thunderwave and 11, it was like, yeah, this makes perfect sense. And you kind of know how he's going to play before he's even picked the character. And then when he starts using Terminator with the teleport, I think that's going to carry over quite comfortably. I do believe we now should be in character select, so bit of a quick break there. Sorry for the wait, everyone, but we'll be jumping into this matchup as soon as possible. And I want to see Terminator. We've bigged it up all this time.
I hope we do. I hope we do, because he's got such a good Terminator. It's a spectacle for everyone watching, ourselves included. Hey! And we are gonna see it right there. You see a strong arm on the left. Over there is teleporting his way in with a shotgun to check. The amplification is not going to connect, but Asadamasa, jumped over the barrier.
No! All right, so here's one difference already. I don't know if he's taking the death grip. I think what Hitman has taken is the I'll be back breaker. That is a command grab that allows him to have different endings, and importantly, has a crushing blow attached for giant damage later in the game. And I feel like he's taken it instead of death grip, because every jump in, he's OSing on it. And I just think it has massive range, clearly.
Yeah, it must work. I think that it's actually a pretty smart idea, because he seems to be just using it as a consistent ender as well. He's gonna get the tackle. Yeah. Enough range to trigger that, and Cetrion gonna be taken down in round number 1, as we're seeing Serious Hitman come out the gate really explosively over here.
You see what I mean by he just is tenacious. He does what he wants! And that's now at least 3 command grabs. The 4th one that he lands should very well be crushing blow if that's what he wants to spend. You have to watch out now, Asadamasa. If he uses his breaker and then that KB lands, he is in big trouble.
He really is. I mean, he's going to have to hold on to that defensive bar as much as he can right now, because if he takes any unnecessary risks, it could be disastrous. Aso gonna check him, keeps himself safe with the deadly winds over there. The 1-1 gonna get confirmed into the amplified deadly winds to get more plus frames on that restand right there.
Both bars of meter have been spent to accomplish it though.
Oh my god!
Just gave himself, he saw the boulder and was like, you know what, I'd like to lose the round, please.
I mean, that was a great read from Aso as well, to just do the straight boulder, right? enough damage to close it out
Okay.
in that round with a forward 2. I'll be backbreaker, and I believe that should be. Did he do the backwards one yet? I'm not sure if he's got the
think
KB.
he's had it, but he's just looking at the meter. Asadamasa has breaker, and he doesn't want to just use the breaker. He wants to be able to get damage. This can be the real checkmate. However, anti-air, Asadamasa, you'll notice the damage is very different here. We see anything from Hitman, and it chunks it down. Asadamasa has to spend meter really to compete with it.
Yeah, very true. I mean, Cetri. Oh, that is a mistake away if I've ever seen one right there. And
The biggest problem is by spending that defensive bar, his teleport's going to be nowhere near as useful. It costs defensive bar to maximize. He's not going to be able to amplify it on the other side. Asamasa's just waiting.
oh, the jump kicks back to back. He did not want to deal with that. You can see Asa running away, forward dashing his way through. The jump 3 is going to connect. And that is going to be game 1 going over to Asadamati.
A real shame. The second that accidental breakaway happened, it does happen. Players will, I think it just comes down to the nature of the breaker input. Sometimes a player will just hit down and block right as they get hit, and it becomes a breakaway. That was exactly what happened there. And what lost the game for Hitman in that situation was his ability to compete in this matchup lies in the quick recovery version of that teleport, which you need to spend a bar of defensive meter on. The breakaway happened and he lost all that meter. And then how'd you get in now when you're weak?
Yeah, it just became that much harder. You could see that Asadamati was really just scouting it out by constantly being in the air, looking for that jump kick to connect, looking for pretty much anything or any means to actually just check Terminator on the way out from the teleport. I mean, just being down on those defensive bars really did spell disaster for Serious Hitman in that game.
All about keeping your resources together. If Serious Hitman has nothing, he is not going to be able to compete with Cetron at all. You know, she's going to constantly get that damage. She isn't the hardest hitting character in the game. That does change a bit with crushing blows, but that's kind of universal across the entire cast. But if she's able to just get free reign over projectiles, keep away, whatever it is. Oh, there we go, though. Spend a bar. Get those plus frames. Read! What a read from Asso.
And that short hop right there, putting the mechanic to good use. Drop the end of the combo, though. The forward 2 into the I'll be backbreaker. Gets that backwards toss and scouted the back roll with the takedown off the running man right here. You see Serious Hitman going for the crossover. Didn't quite meaty.
Yeah, mistimes the jump in right there. A huge part of this knockdown game, especially off the amplify. Oh, gets the knockdown. Is jailing that jump in into a 50-50. Terminator has that low overhead game. One of the only characters that sports it. Has to watch out, though, because with Fatal Blow, Asso will be looking to confirm that into Fatal Blow now to win the round. Won't even do it. Risky.
I actually really like the idea because Asso was consistently checking the teleports, or trying to anyway. And just the fearlessness, the takedown from the running man once again. And any hit situation for either player right now should close out this round. Asadamati tried to be cheeky with it with the jumps again, but the drop from Hitman and the throw whiff, no punish from Hitman.
What's going on? Oh, you ever challenge an Elder Goddess with just a gun?
Rock, paper, shotgun right there for Serious Hitman. I mean, Asadamati right now, you're going to see him use this ground shatter right there, just the ground pound to try and establish the full screen damage, but the launch in the corner catch up. This is going to do a lot of damage and build towards that, the I'll be backbreaker KB.
Asadamasa not breaking that combo. There is a little bit of confusion there from me, because by having the I'll be backbreaker, you don't have the regular command grab, which is universal. That is Terminator's armor break. So by having this variation, Terminator can't break your armor. Uh-oh. A little bit of extra damage. However, Hitman's still in the lead for now, and the resources are good. A knockdown creates a weird situation here. Asadamasa spending meter himself.
Now Hitman's got to be careful as well with the Fatal Blow on deck, but a nice anti-air drops the confirm over there. Might be trying to go for the I'll be backbreaker off the down 1.
I'm sure of it.
Okay, Asso just playing it patient. The bait attempt again, but the 1-1 Fatal. I don't think this is going to kill, but it's going to put him really close.
Only getting one hit out of that string is definitely going to make it do a little bit less damage. However, Hitman, I mean, he's going to teleport. The question is, what kind? No, he has no meter. Oh, no! Hitman! It just slipped through his fingers.
And the absolute belief from Asadamati as well to let the entire string rock, knowing that low is going to trip guard. My goodness, tried to get a cheeky run in over there between the ground pound hits. Didn't quite work out. Ooh, if Asa had spent the bar over there, that could have been nothing. That could have been a real good KB for him.
Wonderful block on that overhead though from Asadamasa. As eaten so many of those so far, Hitman has to be careful here. He's taking damage piece by piece. Gets a little bit of movement on the knockdown, but it's not going to be enough to establish anything. No confirm from Asadamasa, though. Normally, got those on deck. There's the weight.
He was waiting for just that moment right there. Catch up. He's going to get this back throw. Put Serious Hitman into fatal blow territory, but he is still in a very good position. That down two going to cleanly anti-air. And this time, we're going to see the low option coming off that jump.
Right. I'll be back, Breaker. Teleport game, the delay. Back-to-back teleports. They haven't worked so good. The retreat.
Smart choice. Oh!
The thumbs up.
What a call out right there from Hitman against the Hell's Wrath. Now, once more, this is not going to kill, but it's going to put Asadamasa in danger territory.
Oh!
Shotgun didn't have the meter to spend. Couldn't quite close it out. This is anyone's game at this point. No fatal blow for either player.
I can't believe it! I cannot believe it! Going in for the amplified teleport, Asadamasa able to compete with the down 4. They had the same idea. But Asadamasa just a little bit quicker on the draw right there.
Serious Hitman was one layer too deep as well. He back threw out the corner. He thought Aso was gonna forward throw him, or sorry, so normally, you know, you'd expect someone to forward throw you to keep you in the corner. In that situation, it really is a guess for game because the throw is gonna kill regardless. But I think Hitman might have gotten in his own head a little bit and been a layer too deep because he teched backwards, as per, you know, the mind game. But Aso just kept it simple, did the forward throw, got himself the game.
Did indeed. And it does mean that we might be one game away from Hitman being out of this tournament. The Terminator, it's been close every time, but there's a level of hastiness that Hitman brings forward that can be a real problem against this kind of character. If you're impatient against Cetrion, because she doesn't do damage, you're almost tricked into thinking you can afford to get hit a couple of times, but it adds up really quickly. And it's not just the damage you take. Often when Cetrion hits you with something, she's in a position to now do something else. A projectile that she is in range to do. More pressure if the tornado hits you up close. Same variation though from Hitman. This has to be his Cetrion answer, or, you know, do or die now.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it, you know, living and dying by the Terminator pick over here. In the top 8, we'll have to see if Hitman can pull this off and do himself proud. He's going to start things off with that takedown, only really taking some chip damage. That much of a threat in this game so far. He's going to get another takedown over here. Spend the bar as well for 16%.
For the jump kick just to mess up the timing. Some players do start flawless blocking that jump too, just so Terminator can't go for a overhead low mix-up.
Tried for the back one, just out of range right there. The jump kick OS going to work with the Hell's Wrath. 18% for Asadamasa, who's going to try and run away from this teleport. Doesn't even want to try and challenge it or do anything, you know, crazy against it. Oh, that neutral
challenge! Yo, that pickup from Asadamasa though, that's going to do good damage. Into more pressure. This is what I mean. It's not just the combo, it's what comes next. And there's always something that Cetrion has up her sleeve to get more damage. In this case, tries to solo out the corner.
Oh, the teleport in place? Cheeky. I wonder if that would have worked interestingly. But oh my goodness,
no,
okay, the
that was
combo.
Around. Oh, Hitman's execution has not been his friend today, Falcon. It really hasn't. So many missed opportunities. Could be sending him home early. Or
you think it's nerves?
Maybe. There's definitely been an element of, I think, Evo 2021 nature. Like, I know this is online, it's a different setting, but a lot of these players, their execution, which they normally don't worry about, is something that is bothering them. You can tell.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're playing their heart out right now. Asadamasa using all these deadly wins, spending both those bars as well just to keep him standing, keep up all that pressure. Seeing a down 4 check right there from Hitman, who goes for the takedown. Aso tried to go for a jump just a little bit too late, though. Okay.
Ooh.
Traded instant jump 3 to challenge Serious Hitman, and now Asadamasa just patiently waiting out that teleport. Didn't get the OS this time. Forced to break, and Hitman, oh, he got the 4-2 fatal.
There's the mix-up. There's the mix-up. So many jump-ins into low. Eventually, Asadamasa's going to get hit by one of them, and that fatal blow, an expensive resource to go with, especially seeing as the Albi backbreaker, apart from game 1, has not done much heavy lifting. Which has me kind of concerned, you know, because that means that you're playing without a major tool, as it were.
Surprised we're not seeing it raw, like, a lot more. He often ends up doing a lot of normals or pokes, or just kind of playing with the space or doing another teleport after every teleport. But we haven't really seen, you know, amp teleport command grab or anything like that.
Because Asadamasa's been challenging it with a lot of down 4s or just buttons in general to low profile. It has been the buttons that's been causing him problems. The projectiles are part of it, but the buttons are much worse. I think a common misconception about Cetrion that she's all projectiles. She is in control everywhere on screen, and her buttons are a big part of that. Jump in. Oh, but no OS.
Yeah, couldn't get much more from it. You're seeing Aso Damati deal with these jump-ins, the attempts at going for a safe jump into a jailed 50-50, and Aso is just jumping to contest him on the way in. As it is not guaranteed, just not a safe jump, and that back throw is probably, okay, just under the amount of damage that he needs right there. Hitman with another chance at life right here. The back one gonna connect to give him some Oki. Chases that backdash, but the down 3 on Wake Up from Aso Damati to check him on the way in is gonna be all he needs to take that 3-0. Catch it, we've had 3 back-to-back 3-0s over here in Evo 21's top 8 so far, which is ludicrous because we've seen players go 3-2 so many times against each other, but this has pretty much just been one-sided between each set.
Aso Damati moving on in the bracket, and afterwards up next is K-Top versus Arn Kratos. In a few minutes time, we'll be back with more MK11. Hi everyone, welcome back to our EU MK11 action here for Evo 2021 online. We did just have Aso Damati take it over Serious Hitman, and now it's going to be Greece versus Russia. K-Top going up against Arn Kratos. Both of these players are potential tournament favorites, absolutely, and could go all the way through losers and beyond, but it's going to be a competitive match, I think. I know Arn Kratos isn't the biggest fan of fighting Jackie. He's very good at fighting the character, but K-Top, this losers bracket first round situation, I think has him hungry.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think K-Top is really, you know, like playing with so much emotion that we could really be seeing him, like, just take him really far in this bracket. K-Top obviously is one of the powerhouses within Europe East specifically, really all of Europe, you know, but in Europe East as well, when you have that much of a stacked, like, scene, you know, the Russian players are crazy good, Greek players are crazy good, you got all the surrounding regions as well. And to really be able to come out on top, not once, not twice, but, you know, consistently in the very short amount of time that K-Top's actually been able to compete has been nothing short of spectacular. But obviously, you know, Jackie Briggs, very, very strong character, a very impressive character, high damage output. She can be a real obnoxious machine if you're on the receiving end of her. But Arn Kratos, you know, very much experienced against playing against the best Jackies in the world. We've seen this guy perform offline. We've seen him perform online. It's really just a matter of what he decides to pick against the character, because we've seen him play characters like Cetrion in the past to try and deal with Jackie as well.
We have. That was some time ago. It's kind of almost mad to think about how long ago it has been. These last 2 years for a lot of these shows has kind of flown on by for me, but I think that we can expect perhaps our first Game 5 of the day. I know it's been very one-sided up until this point, but that could definitely change now with 2 players that are likely, or at least have the capability to take this entire tournament. But it's going to be 2 different kind of styles, I think. Arn Kratos known for being, I would say, the most impressive defensive player that we have in the scene, and it mostly comes down to his flawless blocks. This guy's flawless blocks are unbelievable, but we now have these 2 characters here. This Shang Tsung, the Ermac lift again.
Yeah, so we're going to see that pretty much enhanced Soul Leader like we were seeing from Disarded earlier on in the winner side of things. K-Top going to get that back throw. For those unaware, that gives Jackie some really nice Oki. Going to allow for that leap. Goes for the double grenade launcher in the air. Keeps him burning and uses that forward throw to just add on some more damage. Okay, whoa! The whiff punish with the 4-3 right there on the standing 4. Okay, air to air from K-Top this time. He's going to set down the flame carpet as well. We're seeing that back roll for Arn Kratos, but he gets clipped on the way down from that jump in. And K-Top going to take round number 1.
Round 2.
I think this is going to be an impressive start. The important thing will be keeping Shang Tsung in the corner, right? You don't want to give him any range to play his game. There's that jump kick air to air, of course, the breaker, and goes for that max range of more. It's kind of good, to be honest. It kind of seems similar to like an Ermac choke, right?
It's basically pseudo-safe, right? Like you're, and also you get the, I mean, I don't know if Dash Punch consistently punishes it. Maybe at the max range it doesn't, and that could be why Kratos is using it so confidently. But right there, the crossover into the confirmed combo, Kratos gets himself a nice, just over 30% as well. Jackie Briggs with 950 HP for those unaware. She is a little bit squishier than Shang Tsung in this regard, but that down 2 KB is most likely going to be enough damage. There was no breakaway for Arn Kratos to use anyway, I believe.
No, there
The down
was.
two?
There was
Yeah.
2 bars of defensive bar. K-Top went for it just in case, because this on its own does great damage and creates a position where K-Top's in the
you're
lead. Goes for the instant leap, and that's game 1, just like that. Okay, K-Top making a statement right here.
Yeah, I mean, just the down 2 KB into the fatal blow alone is you're getting your KB launcher and you're going straight into a fatal blow anyway. You haven't done anything in between. The damage scaling really isn't really much of a factor. It's going to chunk a lot of that life. So K-Top, very wisely just going for the instant leap in, going for the grenade launcher as well to set down the carpet flame, really just maximizing a way to close out that game. But that was quite an impressive performance right there from K-Top in game number 1.
It was, and it was off to a good start too. And that's the important thing for me is that you get to see the damage of Jackie in that position. Just down 2 KB into Fatal Blow did just shy of, I think, 50% almost. Really, really, really good stuff.
Yeah, and we just want to give a shout outs as well to Power A The Fusion. By Power A The Fusion 2 Pro wired controller for the Xbox Series X and S is available now. Be sure to check out powera.com, as you can see right there, as you saw before, underneath the commentator cams. As we're over here in game number 2, last match of losers round 1 between K-Top and Arn Kratos, Greece versus Russia over here, and K-Top with a very dominant health lead over here to start things off in this game.
Getting totally rushed down, and Arn Kratos just trying to squeeze out any button that he can. Hasn't been able to do it so far. Now, this is a almost totally unwinnable situation. There was almost nothing he could do.
Yeah.
There's plasma on the floor, an almost whole life comeback to make. I don't see that being much of it, and expects the down 1. Arn Kratos trying to poke his way out, and K-Top is just being so wise to it, overwhelmed by even more pressure. Plus frames, the dashing grab. He tried to get out, didn't get the right read though. Maybe a down 1 instead.
Oh my
no,
God. That
This
felt
is
like the
looking
right
like a
read.
body
Oh,
bag.
drops it though.
Hey, wait. Can he pull off this whole comeback?
Gonna be a very tough thing to do. Nice throw escape right there from K-Top. But a
Punished.
punish. See how he walked forwards a tiny bit as well to get that punish. Oh, I like that. Soft reset into the forward throw, build back a tiny bit of life.
And it's going to help him against the damage over time. Oh! And he sticks a foot in it. He sticks a foot in it, and he pays the ultimate price as another win just like that. I think, honestly, Falcon, I blinked and missed it. K-Top is now 2 games up.
That was... I feel like K-Top was already playing aggressively in game number 1, but game number 2, man, that really did end very fast right there. K-Top is just maximizing the damage output that he's getting with every successful hit. Arn seems to be making, like, good reads, like the Ermac lift and stuff like that, but they just haven't worked out for him, and kind of just looks a little bit lost at the moment.
It's rare that you see Arn Kratos look that confused. This is a matchup he has played time and time again. I think with the speed of how those 2 games have gone, clearly the defensive options that Arn Kratos is going for, some of them are quite read focused. They're not working. He needs to take this time in character select to think, right, why am I getting hit? We're seeing button stagger, small back walk up into the advancing mid again because he's pressing down 1, getting punished for it. He's trying to anti-air or anti-cross up the shrapnel blast, getting caught for it because he's just not in the right rhythm here. The way K-Top is playing is not how Arn Kratos thinks it's going to go. So he needs to do something drastically different in this game and beyond.
Yeah, but we're going to see him stick it out with the Shang Tsung pick as well. Fully believing in this. He's going to be locked in on this character for the remainder of the set if he's managing to win this one. But the dash punch is going to get blocked. I like how he baited that with a little walk forwards as well. But right here, Arn Kratos is going to end in that slide. The one that Desarted did not rock earlier on in favor of the reptile slide instead. But that jump in is going to be huge for him.
This should be a pretty free first round the way things are currently going. There's that low, the dash in, the micro duck, perfect reads, and okay. He's making these kind of hard reads. They didn't work in the first 2 games, but now they're kind of different to what they were before. So now K-Top has to figure out, right, why did that happen? Oh, the double! That was just on Kratos, not expecting him to spend all of his bar there. Ooh, even without the plasma, still getting 18%. That string's so powerful. Oh no, another one back to back. 36% just like that.
Really was. The forward 1-2 gonna get blocked over here. The 1-1-2 fully. Arn Kratos trying to poke his way back out. He's gonna fight his way out the corner. A great anti-air over there for himself. Confirms into the Ermac lift as well. Gets the extension. 30% pretty much right there for him. And Kratos now shimmies K-Top in the corner. K-Top on the defensive at the moment as Kratos might actually put himself... Oh, just about. I thought he was gonna put himself out of Fatal Blow territory with the health back.
That's Fatal Blow! K-Top brings himself onto match point. On Kratos, whatever he was expecting, it wasn't that. And now that will be Greece match point up here. 1 round is all he needs. On Kratos still has the Fatal Blow. He has pretty much every crushing blow still too. All of the resources at his disposal and full meter.
I also want to touch upon something real quick, Ketchup. We know how K-Top uses that Fatal Blow. He counter pokes with that Fatal Blow, so for him to be off that in the final round situation in this game right here is huge for Kratos, and he needs to try and take advantage of that.
Kratos off to a fantastic start. Oh no, I think that was definitely K-Top expecting a grab of some sorts. And again, he is expecting throw constantly. And the second the throw comes out, he's not looking for it. Definitely got psyched out a little bit there. On Kratos, great position. Only needs a little bit more. This should by all means be his game. But again,
should be the down one check. Oh, just out of range right there, Ketchup. Didn't get the punish on the dash punch. He's giving K-Top another chance right here.
Another hard read. This is what I mean. So on Kratos, he makes these extremely bold decisions. You know, whether it's jumping out of something, whether it's pressing out of plus frames, whether it's going for just a straight up neutral duck.
Yep.
The first 2 games, they just didn't work. As vague as it sounds, they weren't working. But he's sticking to it now, but he's acknowledging that K-Top is being a bit hasty. K-Top was on match point, wanted to make something happen, and was in return trying to make the same decisions, and they were just not working out the way he thought they would. And this is the nature of Arn Kratos. He just has this 6th sense over what to do, and somehow always manages to be correct.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, like, K-Top seems a bit too greedy at times as well with the ways that he's playing this last game. He's just a bit too impatient, like he's trying to close things out a bit too quickly, and Kratos is really just kind of stealing the pace of the match and playing the neutral pretty comfortably. But we saw K-Top in that corner get shimmied many times, so it could be a battle of, you know, the mental durability as well in this case, where Arn Kratos could gradually throughout the course of the remainder of this set be getting into K-Top's head a little bit.
We always have these reverse sweep situations when we go into a game 5 of players 1-2 last games. Perfect read, though, leaps right as the corpse drop comes out. And there's already almost a full B&B's worth of damage anyway. Now he's going to show respect here. Expecting a back 3 stagger, I think K-Top was, as the entire thing knocks him down and sets up. That uppercut, probably not meant to get him out the corner, but we'll take those, at least for damage.
Yeah, for sure. The down 2 right there, tried to get the pickup. K-Top now throw escape. Yeah.
Those throw escapes have always been so good for Arn Kratos. Wow, down 1 on block and still able to actually manage to challenge it.
That was a very gutsy move as well against a character with a 9-frame advancing mid. That's going to lead into your death. What a read right there. As you were mentioning before, I mean, Arn Kratos, you know, really living and dying by some of these reads sometimes. They work out for him quite a lot playing on that 6th sense. But K-Top has that Fatal Blow you got to watch out for if that's going to successfully connect. Oh, avoided the skulls. And just like that, managed to catch the jump into, confirmed into the Fatal Blow. And that is going to be the round and now set point for K-Top.
Once again, but you said it yourself, he was a bit greedy last game. So can he keep his head in the game? As we now on the Soul Chamber. God, I'm so happy this stage came back. Arn Kratos needs to fight for his tournament life. Remember, folks, this is loser's bracket. Now we're out of the tournament after this one. Getting opened up.
He did. He got the flawless block as well. K-Top managed to find the hit. The down 2, checking him on the way in. Back 1 as well for the overhead. Gets the Oki, but a challenge this time from Kratos. Drops the confirm.
Oh, again, looks for the anti-air, but this is Shang Tsung's jump kick we're talking about. It is so good. Another down 2. It's just uppercut city right now.
K-Top refusing to deal with the 1-1 or the throw, just opts to go for the down 2 instead.
Empty leap. Doesn't have meter to direct it. But now we go for the double blast, the triple blast. That one was unsafe, but K-Top just making the right choice. Empty. Now there should be. Does he spend Fatal Blow? Yes, he does. He needs to stabilize. He has to give himself something here.
He's got to give himself a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of time to potentially think and process the next step over here. But in all honesty, it would be silly of him not to have spent that over there. The most damage he's going to get out right now. Oh, the 4-2 into the super kick. And Kratos, oh my god, catch up.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. And K-Top, I gotta say, that would have been, I think, a friendship. I recognize it. Oh, I can hear it. No, that's a fatality. That's a fatality. Unfortunately, there we go. For the nature of this matchup and the fact that there was clearly some beef, I didn't want to point out the variation name, but there was definitely something weird going on. Not appropriate for Evo, but K-Top able to get that win means that a message has been sent. Taking out Russia's #1 player, moving on in the bracket of Evo 2021, that is as much of a statement as it gets. And he said before, he said yesterday when he qualified for top 8, I'm angry now. You know, he is here to play. He's probably more motivated for this tournament than any tournament he's played in ever.
Man played the Evo qualifier on his birthday. This guy is hungry for the win, you know? He's over here ready to unleash and take him down. Arn Kratos, who is definitely a favorite to win this entire tournament over here. An incredibly strong player that we've seen time and time again is now out of the running. But that also presents the fact that K-Top is going to have to fight against Mirko, and then Aso is going to have to fight against Javier. So the losers bracket now has just got those 2 Scorpion players that didn't really have the success that I'm sure they wanted in the winner's side, now having that chance at redemption over here in the losers.
But motivation is the biggest thing that comes from getting knocked into losers bracket, and K-Top is the living example of that. He's often said and proved in tournament that when he gets knocked into losers bracket, that's it. You know, when it's this kind of do or die, he brings that 150% game to the table. Got to give Arn Kratos, though, his shouts for getting that top 8, absolutely. Shame to see him go, because he has always been a fan favorite, that Shang Tsung, the Shang Tsung for the longest time. And it was great to see him here. But K-Top moving on in the bracket for now.
Yeah, K-Top, I mean, he's just over here really just pretty much doing what he's been doing for months on end, you know, tearing through people with very, very oppressive styled gameplay. But Asadamate versus Javier over here in the losers quarterfinals to start things off. Italy versus Spain. Now, Cetrion Scorpion is a very interesting matchup because Cetrion, you know, for the way that Asadamate usually likes to play, Scorpion doesn't allow you to really do that.
But with 2 players that, look, we've actually seen this matchup constantly of Scorpion versus Cetrion, and it mostly comes down to Mirko versus Asadamate. So Javier having a little bit of a different flair to this matchup might bring something new. However, this is a matchup that Asadamate knows like the back of his hand. So I think he has the advantage, in my opinion.
That's actually a really interesting point because he does know the matchup inside and out, but I wonder if he knows, if he might be a bit preconditioned from playing against Mirko too much and not against Javier's style of Scorpion.
Well, we'll soon see as this round 1 is in full swing. Stagger game and then buttons into Tornado. Asadamate, I think, had a bit of extended time off. You know, I think guy had some real life studies to do and wasn't able to prioritize playing in tournament.
Yeah, man. Man's a lawyer. He passed his exam and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's come back refreshed, I think, and he's playing better than ever as he's about to take the first round. This could still be a comeback for Javier. He's gonna have to go for some bold decisions, I think.
It could be. I mean, one solid read over here into the fatal blow could be a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough to kill him. Asadamate, obviously an incredibly intelligent player, knows that he doesn't really need to do anything over here as that time is just ticking down. Doesn't actually need to press anything, but over there, why not with 1 second remaining on that clock, just to spice things up a little bit. But as we are going into round number 2 over here, Asadamate has his back in the corner. We all know that he likes to teleport his way out. Right there.
Immediate confirm, but here comes the immediate breaker to follow suit. Asadamate doesn't want to challenge that one. The natural barrier, always able to just steal that turn back. Speaking of which, here comes another one. And again, you'll notice Cetrion, she's hitting you a lot, but she's not doing damage, but it just chips away piece by piece as even more of it comes out. And Javier, he's just been bullied from just shy of jump distance.
He really has. He's playing to the spacing that Asadamate is defining so uncomfortably for Javier right now. And the 1-1 staggers, you know, just respecting that at the moment. Doesn't want to try and contest it. Asadamate with the health lead. Javier still has that fatal blow. No commitment from the back one, though. Okay, flawless block to mitigate that chip as well.
Oh, I'm so shocked he didn't teleport that, Falcon. That was a teleport with his name on it.
It really was, but we could see a little bit of, maybe a little bit of nerves, but also just, you know, the fact that we usually watch Mirko react to this kind of stuff, but Mirko's teleport reactions are ridiculous.
Yes, indeed. Fatal blow in play, but only 20 seconds on the clock. Asadamasa, he will play the timer all day, every day. He can afford to take these throws for now. Maybe not so much anymore, but that one, absolutely. Standing one, doesn't manage to land. The barrier. One bar left.
Well. 8 seconds on the clock, 7 seconds. That forward throw is going to bleed some time from him, but it's not going to be enough. He might have shot himself in the foot with that one, but Aso isn't really going to get mixed up by Scorpion, let's be real. And he is going to take that, despite the fact that Scorpion just pulled his kunai out of the gut of Cetrion. It was Cetrion that came out on top in that game.
2 rounds and only 1 second to spare between them. That's what it was. The second that first round ended, we had 1 second left. And that second one went down to timeout. It's a testament to how Asadamasa likes to approach the game. He's never been a player that, for lack of a better term, he doesn't play for your viewing pleasure. He plays the way that he works for him. He will play dry. He will play keep away heavy. He likes range. Cetrion has been a great pick for him for that. Like I said, day one, this guy was spring cleaning all the way through. And it kind of refined his defensive style. And he looks at all statistics, right? I look at my health. I've got loads of health. I can afford to take these grabs. I'm going to do it. I'm going to just look for the overhead, block low, whatever it is, and then we just continue, right?
It's almost like, what you were saying about Makaran earlier. Like, Asadamasa is just incredibly efficient. He just understands the overall, just the bigger picture, really, when he's playing. He understands that, he's looking at the time, he's looking at your resources, he's looking at health values, he's looking at, how close you are to things like Fatal Blow, where you are on the screen, what buttons he's pressing, he's playing the mind games. And overall, not to take anything away from Javier as well, it just seemed like he was a little bit lost, but I've never seen Javier play Sub-Zero before. This might just be a player versus player matchup kind of thing right here, because Asadamasa's made it very known that he does not like fighting Sub-Zero.
No, he definitely doesn't. He can't stand fighting this character. It's the mobility, it's the unpredictability, the slide is an absolute pain in the backside for sure.
Oh,
but
definitely.
This is definitely a case of know your enemy, I think. Hey, there's that up 3 as well to challenge Javier. The Sub-Zero looking a little bit practiced. Reverse throw as well. Man, just going for the mix-ups.
He really is, and that is going to be a hugely favorable trade right there for Sub. He's going to end it in that back 3-2-1.
Oh, no.
Breakaway as well. I'm not sure if he actually wanted that one.
Nah, that looks like what you would call a mistake away, my friend.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, just about avoiding that teleport to try and work his way in. Asadamasa trying to open up that space again. Doesn't really want to be in a position to be mixed by Sub-Zero.
Almost had the counter hit, but too far away for the first hit. That would have probably been the round, as Javier does not have the defensive bar. Teleport. Goes for the regular one. Oh, there was both triggers on the end of that forward too, let me tell you. But it missed.
And Javier right now... Oh! Timed perfectly right there by Asadamasa. Spaced out that slide, as that could have been disastrous. But one thing I want to point out as well, Javier does not have Amp Ice Ball. That seems to be a little bit of an issue sometimes. But the first time we're seeing the barrier KB.
That trade is still going to be more damage for Asadamasa, thanks to the first hit. Trying to challenge this one, the back 3. No confirm, though. Javier just letting the whole string rock on its own. Now, this is the double-digit plus frames I'm talking about. Sub-Zero's forward throw so good for keeping the pressure rolling. Patience! He knows that Aso's greedy with the bar. You want to go for a far teleport? You need to spend both bars, my friend.
Yeah, really good awareness, presence of mind right there from Javier. He's going to blow up that boulder as well. The Rising Ice down to the most damage you're going to get on that breakaway, but yep. Oh no, the down 2, just in case. Maybe down 2 KB into Fatal Blow isn't a true combo with Cetrion.
He must have expected the break. That was such a weird situation. So, folks, that string, I can't remember the exact one, but the 3 hit that launches, the boulder comes down. You can Fatal Blow that, but if they break as early as they possibly can, the Fatal Blow will whiff. Asadamasa made the read that the breakaway was coming, so he did dash in down 2 to try and get some damage, but Javier made the opposite read and did absolutely nothing. So that was such a weird situation, but Asadamasa coming out on top, 2-0 now. Javier on the verge of going home with what is looking like a 5 defeat straight.
Yeah, things right now for Javier are looking a little bit bleak, but I feel like the Sub-Zero pick wasn't really It didn't feel like a wrong pick. I just feel like maybe the Amp Ice Ball would have really helped him out in that matchup, because there were times where like Aso was just above the Ice Ball or below it, or just straight up avoiding it, you know, with well-placed down forward ones, with the Tails Wraths in the air, and just using teleport and things like that. But gradually, you know, it starts to kind of rack up. I think we heard that Javier was playing Scorpion again this time around. So opting to go with, you know, the main through and through over here. Aso Demacia obviously locked into the Cetrion, but this is set point for Aso.
Wow, just a walk-up throw, but again, Aso Demacia will be content to essentially just hold those throws while he has lots of life. And these ones too. He's not one to constantly go for techs, because look, if you go for throw techs against Scorpion early on and you're wrong, he gets escape failed. When he gets escape failed, both of his grabs have crushing blow on them. So you're essentially giving him a major resource where in some cases you can afford to take the damage. However, I think Javier has already grown wise to that, because he's done a lot of grabs already, and he's noticed that Aso Demacia has not tried to tech them yet. This one he has, an escape failed.
Yeah, and for those unaware as well, if this is your first time watching Mortal Kombat 11, there are 2 throws that you have to tech. There's forwards and backwards, both having different inputs. So you do have to guess on that throw tech, which is why this stuff starts to add up. And why the escape failed matters that much more, because it is going to give him a nice chunk of damage and damage over time. But Aso Demacia right now is keeping himself safe with the deadly winds. You can see Javier trying to fish for a counter poke. There it is right there. Gets the whiff punish, forces the breakaway as well, and gets the knockdown.
A little bit extra to win the round is all it needs, and a jump 2 is that ticket. And there's the angry point. I'm staying in the match. Scorpion's had that point for like every game, I swear. Since like the NRS era, he just points angrily at you. That's what he's always done. Jump 2. Nice block. There's the flawless block on the up 3 as well.
Both these players have just been so on point with flawless blocking each other's options as well, just in general. But that standing one into the vines was such a good pickup right there for Aso Demacia off the anti-air. Gets that forward throw for a nice 13% as well chunk afterwards. And you see that Flame Spear buff that is going to rack up with the throws. Forward specifically.
Nearly gets a whip punish, but not quite. Aso Demacia lets the whole natural barrier go. There's the teleport game, something that Aso Demacia does not fear. A player known to down 4 a lot of Scorpion jump-ins, to low profile those answers. Now there's the flawless block again, just to do it. Doesn't get the launch at least. There's the back 3. Javier could make this momentum count, gets a grab, does not spend it. I believe the KB should still be active.
Yeah, it should still be active, and right there he's gonna. Oh, he's not gonna spend this one. Didn't have the spend. They probably saving it for the kill situation potentially. No punish on that blocked short hop attack from Aso Demacia. Gets the 1-1 into that forward 1 jail off the deadly winds. Really clever decision right there, using the plus frames. And right now we are on set point for Aso Demacia. Javier has a chance to turn this around right now and secure a game for himself if he's able to close out this round.
This is the differences we're talking about, though. That neutral jump kick, I strongly believe that would have been a spear if it was on the side of Mirko. This is where the differences come into play. Aso Demacia is so confident in this matchup. However, do we spend it now? It's now or never, right? Your match point down, you have to get something.
You get a nice chunk of damage over time as well. You can see Cetrion still bleeding. That's only just stopped. Putting her a little bit, about 60% health. Give or take, with a flawless block up 3 on the gap in the 4-4-2 right there. Aso gonna pick up, gets the restand, forward 2, checks Javier, probably on the back walk. And this is looking really dangerous for Javier right now, catch up.
Stagger gain is real. Chip damage layered upon chip damage times 3. There's the jump kick though, knows it with punishes. Neutral jump though! Javier with the breaker, the last breaker potentially he's gonna get of EVO 2021. Aso Demacia needs 1 clean hit. There's no breaker, don't get hit!
Oh. The natural barrier is going to go into the full string. There was a flawless blockable gap, but you can see Javier just choosing to respect.
What? He just did it! He just did it! That was an online Scorpion maneuver if I've ever seen one, but it keeps him in the fight. And it's now going to be 1 game on the board. And I'm probably sure Aso Demacia is sitting there thinking, you did that?
I actually think that was so 5-head because he walked forwards a little bit just before he did it. He really made Aso believe he wanted to go for 4-3-4 KB, I think. I think he really wanted him to believe that, and then he just let the teleport rock. I think Aso might have walked back, and that's why he got clipped.
I think that is one of the riskiest teleports I've ever seen. Because of what's on the line, you know? If he just blocked that, or down forward it, or whatever. He was so weak, even a down 4 would have done it, which he low profile anyway.
Yeah, at that point, really, just chip damage is going to kill him, right? Like, It was just an all or nothing, really hard in your hand play by Javier right there to secure that for himself, and keeping his Evo 2021 run alive right now. Has another chance at trying to take this set and keep himself in the tournament.
Hey man, I respect it.
Yeah,
it works. When you play Scorpion, sometimes you just play with your heart on your sleeve. It's how the character goes. You have to be a little bit, I think, cerebral with your choices. And in this case, Javier has kept himself in the match, and that forward 3 single hit confirm, not easy, but something that he has done in the past. Thanks to having teleport cancel, those single buttons are a little bit more lenient to confirm into, similar to the Cabal Nomad dash.
Ooh, the neutral jump this time. He did have the bar, but he didn't want to spend it over there. Ooh, unluckily for him, Aso is going to get that. A block right there into the KB punish. Gets himself almost 30% on the board. But Aso Damatsi has the fatal blow. You got to watch out for that 1-1 confirm into it. You can see he's fishing for it. Trying to shimmy.
Delayed mid. He wants you to think a grab is coming, but now it is in fact Javier that's content to block. Oh, and he finds it! He waits and waits and waits, and the time to strike presents itself with a clutch 1-1 confirm.
At that point, Javier really can just take the throws as well. You know, the throw isn't going to kill him. I totally respect the fact that he's keeping his head cool. You just saw him stick over there, hold block, wait for the right moment, and then that confirm is all he needed. Javier looking like he's building a lot more momentum for himself.
Low profile once more. Those low pokes of Cetrion. The anti-air teleport. I love that choice. So good. The jump kick's going to completely whiff though. Aso Damatsa looking for the buttons again, but now it's Javier expecting a stagger and eating the wins as punishment. The up 3. Get me out of here. 2-1 plus frames as well. That back 3 nicely blocked. The cancel teleport. Yo, man, just walked you to death.
The imposing walk, the menacing as he's approaching you right there. Aso Damatsa, you can see, is trying to approach a little bit. You can see he's trying to bait out a bit more from Javier, trying to probably fish for a teleport. But at the moment, you can see Javier being ever so patient. Right now, he does have a health deficit, but that could rapidly change with one right call, and that throw punish could have gotten more off that, but regardless of anything, got himself 13% on the board, using the plus frames to try and play with the spacing, fishing for a counter poke right there, and he is going to blow up the Hell's Wrath. Breakaway forced to be used by Aso Damatsi for the down 2 trade.
Good trade for Aso in terms of damage, but he doesn't have much health himself left to work with, and he's looking for Fatal Blow once again. Javier does not want to get clipped by that 2-hit confirm. There's the barrier. The teleport's good, but the flawless block. The teleport into the cancel. There's now 7 seconds on the clock. The
5
escape.
seconds.
Get me out of here.
3 seconds. Oh my god, has he got it? Oh my god.
Snap. 2-2. Game 5. Javier.
We got ourselves a first game 5 over here in Evo 2021, though, catch up. Let's go, man. Javier keeping himself alive, trying to make this reverse 3-0 happen.
It has been almost complete one-sided results all the way through today, but this is where things get different. Javier, if there was half a second less to work with, that would not have been a comeback. That would have been match point. We'd still be in the match. We'd be going, right, is Aso Damatsa going to win this? Let's go. Javier keeping that clutch in check, which I'm so impressed by. Javier as a player has also come a long way. As you said at the start of the day, known for being an online warrior, for the most part, no disrespect, just plays online a lot, does a lot of ranked, doesn't play in a lot of tournaments. That, to me, changed in MK11 around the time of about pro competition. The online pro competition, we started seeing Javier all the time, started seeing him more in the Open Series. And now we see him in many, many tournaments, and he just gets better and better. And as a player, has matured a lot, where these reverse sweeps become possible.
They really have, and at this point in the game, if you're Aso Damatsi, you do not want to be getting in your own head right now, because this is the moment where you have to clutch out the situation. But we've seen Aso in these situations before, you know, going into the 2-2s, potentially being reverse sweeped, manages to hold it down, but right now Javier is playing with so much emotion right there. He's getting at the KB from the spear, which is the first time we've seen that today. And over here, he's going to confirm into a nice chunk of damage. Aso Damatsi not opting to break any of it, spends a defensive bar on that up 3.
Is it just me, or did the back 3 hop over Cetrion's up 3? I know her wake-up attack.
Whiff punished it from that backsway,
I mean, her wake-up attacks are not particularly good because of the hitboxes not being that great, and I guess that's just a perfect example. Unfortunately, Javier, the momentum is all on his side, and he only needs 1 clean hit now to bring himself onto a match point. However, the Italian Aso Damatsa has other things to say about it. Fatal Blow still ready. He just needs to find a way to confirm into it. Oh, and that was it! He was looking for it! Too hungry! Javier calls it out! And now that Spanish Scorpion, man. We're 1 round away from a reverse sweep.
Okay, Yasuo's gonna find himself a really important hit over here. Goes for the interactable! Oh, I got ducked straight away. He does not have the bar to break away any of this at the moment. Javier gonna spend the 2-on-2. Look at that health bar tick down.
Oh! This just never ends. These poor characters. Oh! Wake up down 2! Savage!
And the 1-1 actually got...
Oh! Bloody hell. Oh, Cetrion, she's not
Someone
happy about
screenshot that.
Look at it. So unhappy with it. I'm out. She's just shocked. She's just stuck in this never-ending void. This is your life now. Congratulations. Javier.
This set was ridiculous. Huge congrats to Javier, man. I mean, just feel free to just wrap this set up. I'm at a loss for words right now. Catch up.
Look, we'll be seeing them later on. Before we go to a break, I want to give a special shout-outs to PlayStation and the PlayStation tournaments that are still going on to this day. We've had FGC Arcade, big invitationals, first to fives, community shows, all these different fighting games. It's all found at compete.playstation.com. The forever ongoing open series for games like Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat 11, and more can be found on the Competition Center. Go and check it out during this 3-minute break, and we'll be back with MK11 and EVO 20. As we jump back into some more MK11 on the EU side here of EVO 2021, it comes with it a storyline, one that's been going on for about 6 years at this point, and that's the tale of Mirko versus K-Top, 2 very good friends. They kind of had their own breakout performances at the same time, back in the Mortal Kombat X days, the Community Cups of old, where they kind of took it in turns to win those tournaments. It was the Thunder God Raiden, the Hellfire Scorpion, run cancels all over the place, which brought with it an extremely aggressive and button-heavy reactionary style that both of them have brought into MK11. You know, they played a little bit of Injustice 2 as well, but they're Mortal Kombat players at heart, and that is where their fighting game legacies have come from. I'm happy to see them playing each other at EVO because we have come almost full circle from when they first started out.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. Like the K-Top, you know, he had a very oppressive nature of gameplay in Mortal Kombat X. Mirko as well pretty much had a very refined and super solid Hellfire Scorpion, right? Just a machine with that character. But I actually think that with the lack of run cancel in this game, K-Top has opted to go for characters that are more buttons, more in the air, more, you know, like, well, Jackie, right? So Jackie is just going to be very oppressive as well in nature, but K-Top's never been a person to shy away from playing the top tiers. Very, you know, obviously just chooses the best characters in the games that suit how he wants to play, and for obvious reasons. I mean, if you're a serious competitor, it just makes your life a lot easier, really, isn't it? But Mirko, on the other hand, you know, this is his redemption arc chance over here. These players are playing with a lot to prove to themselves.
As Mirko did suffer a 3-0 defeat earlier today against Makaran, this is his moment to bring himself back into the fray. As 2 close friends over a long time have to go. And now what's it going to be? Yeah, Reborn, the anti-Jackie pick again, Falcon.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, Mirko, we all know that he's very much capable of doing this. We've seen him get knocked down to losers before as well, and he just finds a way to unleash exactly what he wants. But right here, Jackie, oh my goodness, that flawless block straight on the forward 3 right there, gonna get the launch. Mirko right now, he puts himself in the corner though.
I do thoroughly enjoy that aggression, but also at the same time, knowing how your opponent wants to pressure. Mirko was looking for an empty jump down 3. That kind of calls out the flawless blocks. It gives you an element of mix. That option select jump kick will do it. Only a little bit of damage left to go. Nice block on the back 3. Can K-Top somehow find this? A flawless block to begin. Saves him from all of the chip. Is it enough to keep him going? No, it won't. Down 1. Yo, shout out to the subway in the background. My favorite stage.
One of the best stages for sure in the entirety of the
I'm so glad the round 3 music of the stage is the subway as well. It's like so perfect.
Right over here, you know, Mirko is going to start things off with that back throw, probably fishing for an escape failed right there as well. Throwing him out of the corner, we're back here in the mid screen, and you can see him just whiffing that air throw. Now, if Jackie jumps towards him or tries to go for a leap or something, it already has really low recovery, but he's also going to get himself a nice anti-air with that grab.
Stagger into grab. Speaking of which, K-Top, when you block all day, every day, he will start throwing in just 1 or 2 grabs to make you uncomfortable. Perfectly scouts out the delayed wake up. And actually, Mirko ending the round himself as he teleports himself into the plasma. That short hop Shrapnel Blast with Plasma, so good. If the opponent delays Wake Up, they have to hold so much pressure. And it's all chip and extra damage they can't challenge. Here comes K-Top.
Yeah, that's
No
for sure.
flawless
Block. Ooh, that did not work out for him. He's going to have to use the breakaway over here. But that instant jump kick to blow up the attempted meaty right there from K-Top, you're definitely going to see that 2-1-2 KB being spent by Mirko as he jumps his way in. K-Top tried to get a pickup off that down to anti-air, but the escape failed right now for Mirko as he's going to be building that up. He's got the throw KB to work with over here in the last round of game number 1. And K-Top is patiently biding his time. Oh my god, threaded the needle with that crossover, and Mirko has no bar to break any of this.
And he has Fatal Blow, but if he gets a hit, he can't. Look at the damage on the floor. Mirko has to play this absolute 2D platformer. What is he going to do? Oh! No! He puts his foot in it, Scorpion, no! Oh, he does the spear, and to do the spear, he puts his foot forward, he stands in it. Scorpion.
That was so what I was noticing, right, when K-Top was putting down the carpet flame, then walking forwards, when he put down another one, the one behind him would dissipate. So I'm surprised we didn't see Mirko actually try and go for the teleport behind him and catch him in that moment where he is just walking forward and trying to go for the grenade. But that spear, I mean, just that slight lean forwards really spelled disaster for Mirko, allowing K-Top to take that first game.
It creates such a horrendous position for you because one major element of the damage on the floor is that it does bypass Last Breath. There's not a lot of damaging mechanics in MK11 that ignore Last Breath. And again, for those that don't know, quick little recap. The defensive bar that you have left of a maximum of 2 will survive 1 hit of guaranteed chip damage that would normally kill you. So for example, you know, you can take 2 hits if you've got 2 bars, and then the 3rd hit will be the one that chips you out.
Yeah.
Most attacks will still have to kind of play by the rules of Last Breath, but when that plasma's on the floor, if you're standing in it and you've got 1% left, that's it, you're gone. It doesn't matter how much defensive bar that you have, which is another kind of extra reason that makes Jackie such a dangerous character. And in this wave of Ultimate letting you have a custom variation, you take upgraded Jackie, which was already her strongest variation, you take the least useful move, which was the low ground pound, and you give her Grenade Launcher, which is the plasma that you can see right now. It's basically upgraded.
Yeah, it really is. Part 2 to the grand story, but that tells... Oh my goodness! Just letting it rock right there. And now Mirko is going to go for the big plus frames over here in the corner. The short hop attack is going to connect right there. Empty jump down 3s to check him. This is shades of... I mean, this is honestly just like the way that Mirko loves to play, but he is going to get himself opened up over here. His K-Top is going to be ending in that 3-3 for the Oki. A lot of damage on the table for him, but an instant counter hit challenge for that 1-1 from Mirko.
Both bars get spent and Mirko goes in for the fatal blow. Now again, this is not because he wants to kill, but he wants to put himself in an almost guess the game scenario. He's going to get a knockdown here, and it's going to be button versus grab potentially. In this case, uses the forward. No, goes for the jump in, and Mirko doesn't even try to break. That's one of those weird scenarios where maybe he tried to go for breakaway, but I don't know. Spending his fatal blow and losing the round, that is one of the worst case scenarios you can have. And now both bars spent. By the time you can break, you've already lost. Oh my lord, 40%, and you broke. Was it even worth it?
Yeah, it's a rough one right there. Missed the dash punch punish on the way in the K-Top. Mirko now, he's going to try and play with this space. He has no defensive bars. Going to have to really be careful about being opened up over here, but that down 1 check instantly on the teleport. Flawless block on that jump in as well to alleviate some of that pressure that K-Top could have thrown out at Mirko, but that neutral jump is huge right there. Forces the breakaway.
Flawless block this time from Mirko, though, showing it the respect. Happy to wait. Without that fatal blow, he's going to have to work just a little bit harder at the end of this round. He's not going to have that same explosive damage that he had in round 1.
Yeah. Okay, the back 2-2, not going to work out for K-Top. He's trying to close in that space. You can see him not really using leap in the neutral as well. He's just not throwing it out there, being quite respectful of that air teleport. He only uses it when he's close and it's unreactable.
Fatal blow! Now that's probably going to survive. I think it's likely that Mirko will survive this, but again, it's the situation afterwards. If he's really low, that damage on the floor is going to be a problem.
It really is, but one successful hit for him is going to be pretty much it. So his throw isn't going to kill, but it now puts him into that situation. Oh, what a bait. The point. Again, angry point of death. But K-Top going for the wake-up roll did cost him defensive bar, which means that he hasn't got any going into this round. Mirko, a good chance for him, but he has to land a clean hit before that breaker becomes available. No, tries to anti-air. Again, makes the wrong call out on how many of those shrapnel blasts K-Top's going to do. Doesn't overcommit. K-Top knows what's on the line. Yeah, but the escape failed is going to be favorable for Mirko right here as we're in the last round of this game. He's got that throw KB to work with. Leap instantly destroyed with that flawless block reversal, and you best bet he's spending that KB. As you can see, K-Top's health bleed down with that damage over time, but another great down two from K-Top. Really not allowing Mirko to go for these jumps, but the wake-up buttons to get a nice clean punish. Didn't want to spend any bar over there. Yep, and that's all he needs.
Yes, indeed. Saving the KB throw. Something that is just becoming more and more prominent as Mortal Kombat 11 gets played competitively, because, like, there was a time when this game was a little bit more new that players, they had escape failed, they'd hit the next throw, they'd spend it. But it's such an expansion to the mind game, the meta of your character. If your character is incredibly grab heavy or gets a lot more mileage out of just their buttons that they can confirm into, having a KB throw means that they're a lot more, I think, afraid of the throw. So they might neutral duck more, they might press more, which opens up more of your buttons. Mirko is the kind of player that will hold up until that KB throw wins the game. That's what he did at the end. He had loads of opportunities to spend it and he didn't. He waited until it would be, this is the winner of the game. We do it. Now we're 1-1. It's very smart, but it is risky. Because if they tech the throw after escape failed, the KB is gone. You have to build escape failed again. So you have to do that work all over again.
Yeah, no, that is definitely true. Right there. So with Mirko now tying things up over here, I think this is a really good statement for really both players, you know, being very even in this sense, because I think that, you know, K-Top had an incredibly destructive performance against Arn Kratos earlier on in the loser side of things, and now you can see Rise Mirko over here just really being unafraid. I mean, he looks a lot more confident than when we watched him play against Makaran earlier on.
However, whipping that back three is going to bring with it massive punishment. Trade? The trade combo? Are you kidding me?
Character specialist, baby. That's what we like to see.
I've never seen someone trade it down to and pick it up. That was absolutely unbelievable. Mirko, come on, dude. The sweat.
I mean, what a time to sweat, right? This is EVO 2021. Bring your A game if you want a chance to come out on top as we're in the losers quarterfinals. You can see K-Top being so patient right now. Mirko, honestly, doesn't really need to do anything with this much of a health lead.
He can instant air grab, which I
him.
was just about to mention. That is why he takes Reborn. Reborn has the air throw. If it counter hits, it has a crushing blow. It's a one-time use, but it's enough to stop Jackie from leaping in the neutral. And it's not just that. We saw in the last game that Mirko flawless blocked the jump in. That leap has extra flawless block window on it. That was introduced in Ultimate. So no leaping in the neutral for you. Mirko will challenge that. Hey, speak of which.
Ooh, what an anti-air as well. Great option from that flawless block. Now he's going to spend the KB over here. This is an incredibly dominant game right now for Mirko. The 1-1-2 going to shimmy K-Top. Still bleeding over here. Now that's going to put him into a chip situation. The 1-1-2 cleverly used by Mirko is going to give him the advantage as we are now a 2-1 catch-up.
I almost feel like that game didn't happen. It was so fast. And we just saw so much patience from K-Top. It's almost a shame that he used the leap in the neutral because that was exactly what Mirko was waiting for. He's sitting full screen because it's, I have the life lead. Yeah. Your projectiles will not reach me because remember, they have to arc. They don't go straight forward. So I can sit full screen and wait and kind of just react to whatever it is that you do. That much was obvious. We all knew that's why he was sitting there. K-Top giving him exactly what he wants was not the play. I think he just got a bit too impatient and then...
Definitely.
The rest was history on that round, being absolutely annihilated, and this could be Mirko surpassing K-Top in this bracket, bringing us into Asadamasa. No, not Asadamasa, sorry. Javier made the reverse sweep. A Scorpion Mirror, which we've seen so many times before. I think it's going to be great if we see a Scorpion Mirror now.
It would be an amazing way because only one of them is going to come out on top. I mean, only one of you is going to be able to, you know, hold that over the other one, so to speak, over here in at EVO 2021, and it is just going to be a wild run. But we can't get ahead of ourselves right now. We do still have Mirko and K-Top to play out the remainder of this set. K-Top has the potential to tie things up to go from this game right here, but if Mirko is able to play like he did in that last one, then this could be over in a heartbeat.
Like that from K-Top, goes for the short hop, but he notices there isn't a delayed wake up. So he actually doesn't commit to anything. Like that decision, waits for the wake up roll. Now Mirko likely saw that as a necessary evil. If I'm likely to lose the round, I just need to get out of this corner because I can win the next two if I can play neutral. In the corner, I can't play neutral.
I actually think that K-Top is playing a little bit more patiently as well. Just from that round alone, you can tell he's thinking about his approach a lot more.
There's the instant jump in. K-Top, hungry.
All that damage as well just before the breakaway. I mean, you've eaten so much on top of that with the grenade launcher, you know, the burn on you, making you lose more health. Mirko right now trying to get that back three to work. We haven't actually seen too many Scorpion back threes connect today in general. People have been really on point with blocking that.
Takes out the down one. That could have been a full punish, but I think Mirko will take anything at this point. Gets the side switch, and now the corner pressure belongs to him. A fatal blow locked in. 2-1-2. The knockdown's not going to be enough damage. Does manage to pick up the down three, though, as Mirko brings himself onto match point. K-Top, can he get out of this corner? Because he's stuck. Go the dinosaur.
All right, K-Top. He's doing a lot of these jump forwards into grenade launchers as well, really fishing for those counter poke buttons from Mirko, but Mirko being really patient at the moment. The back three, interesting choice right there, but the 4-3-4 KB is going to work out for him. He's going to get an extension right here, spending all of his offensive bar. 35% over that, rather.
Wow. Mirko getting clipped. K-Top builds the grease kick amplify just in time, it seems. And now, what's it going to be? The leap. The punish! That is -10! That is not safe, my friend! And the overhead back three begins the offense. This could be where Mirko pushes himself forward, advancing in the bracket of EVO 2021. K-Top, this might be your last chance, mate. Gets the forward throw, and the fatal blow means he just needs a clean hit. Mirko likely to sit and hold throws, at least one. Now, that window is gone.
Oh, he jumped! Oh, the jump felt so risky after he was being so patient. He must have really committed to a hard read over there. But in all honesty, it seemed like he kind of got frustrated and squirmed. As K-Top's been really just doing these instant grenade launchers and instant jump normals into grenade launchers the whole set. So that felt like a very obscure decision to be made by Mirko. But that now evens things out in another Game 5 situation, as we're over here at 2-2 between both players.
It does indeed. And this is one of the most predicted matchups, in my opinion, that would have gone Game 5. They have such history. They do always have these close games. Historically, Mirko has had that kind of one-up, but it comes down to the final game. It has been always close, but Mirko has that final moment of clutch. And is that going to continue today? Because the storylines are right tonight. I mean, we have Mirko, who has just been this EU online god for so many years. Still, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to this day, has never been to an offline event. He's never been to one, but online he is an absolute animal. I've never seen Mirko at an offline tournament.
I can't recall any of those. Yeah, like I honestly can't recall any that I've seen Mirko play offline. He really has been an online player since the birth of Mirko, right? Since in MKX.
There's been that variation change. It wouldn't be Mirko unless he goes into Game 5, the Reaper, aka Searing Rage. Death Spin, Enhanced Strings, and Spear Buff. So this is going to be damage. It's not about the cancel teleport. Yo, the cheeky overhead. Watch your head, mate. Oi. 37%, just like that. Oh, no. The extra staggers and extra strings. The wake up down 2. K-Top's rattled.
He really is right now. He's getting shimmied over here as well. And the instant grenade launcher is going to get the pickup. Confirmed into the corner, set down the carpet flame. Mirko now getting clipped a little bit, holding that burn just a bit more. Keeps himself safe with a full string as well. Now K-Top going for the leap into the corner. Empty leap as well. Mirko still holding block, being incredibly patient.
Finds the opening though, as a jump in. Not only wins the round and puts himself onto set point, but escapes the corner. K-Top, what does he do now? His meter is almost non-existent. He's just built a bar of offense. They trade. The corner, you will stay.
This is going to be, you can see K-Top just waiting for it. Mirko just being really vigilant if he goes for the leap, if he's on the approach. Still a nice chunk of damage right there. More mealers confirms. We're seeing K-Top get a very comfortable and healthy life lead for himself. To try and tie up these rounds. Great anti-air right there for Mirko.
Anti-air standing one like it's MK9. Got me feeling nostalgic. Gets a full combo into the end. The 2-1 plus. Yo, the backup though. K-Top makes the perfect call out. And there's no breaker here. Spend the crushing blow and bring us onto a match point both sides. This is unreal. But only one round between them.
It really is. Now, this is the make or break for either player over here. I feel like this could spell a lot of momentum going forwards in the remainder of the bracket as well, depending on who comes out on top. Mirko burning down over here, but he has that spear buff. It did a little bit more damage on that strings ender.
We have to be so careful now, though. Mirko Stance changing from full screen. I wonder if he's one of those players that just has to have his character facing forward. No mustard's just as bad. I think Honeybee too. I don't know why, but some players...
I'm kind of like that too.
I know, some players just really don't like it. They trade the down one, but it's a faster button from K-Top. Goes in for the damage over time. Mirko taking a significant amount. 2-1, lets the whole string go. Squeezes out a down one. Escape failed.
That is so important right now as well, Ketchup. Having that throw KB in the final round over here between both these players. The back three gonna connect. Stays out of range of the carpet flame. Risky dash punch.
Blow is ready for Scorpion. Mirko, can he find an opportunity to land this though? The flawless block! K-Top, you have to break!
He did right now.
One more.
It's not gonna kill, it's not gonna kill. But the flame carpet, gotta be careful.
Oh my god, he's out of it!
He didn't do 4-3 fatal blow, Ketchup!
Why didn't he fatal blow?
Why didn't he fatal?
The mistake of mistakes. He hit the anti-air. He had to fatal blow because the cinematic might have given him time to bypass the damage. The second he dedicated to spear, it was all over. What a choke, Falcon.
Oh my god. That was just dang, dude. That fatal blow would have, for anyone that doesn't understand the frustration, right? If you're not really much of a Mortal Kombat player or don't really watch it too much, fatal blow, it triggers a cinematic. That cinematic would have avoided the carpet flame at the bottom. Had he gone into the 4-3 fatal blow or just straight into fatal blow from the launch, it would have guaranteed the clock stopping. Anything that was a factor on the stage is no longer there, meaning the damage over time was not going to kill him, and it would have killed K-Top. The actual damage from the fatal blow would have killed K-Top. But K-Top, I'm sure, taking the biggest sigh of relief, probably screaming the house down, is you know, just going to be making it on through this bracket. Still incredibly hard fought by both players.
As far as I'm concerned, that has been the match of the day. It's two rivals, but friendly rivals that have gone back and forth, like I said, for about 6 years at this point. They have rich history together. And Mirko, he will be devastated, I'm sure. You know, there's really no other way to put it. Whether he would have survived or not, I guess would need to play that back in slow motion because he was so weak, but it was the only thing he could have done. But I got to give Mirko the props for getting as far as he did. Big congratulations. I believe he chose to sign up quite late, actually, as well. He almost didn't even play in this tournament, and he got winner's side top 8. So that's an impressive feat. We're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll be finishing up almost the later stages of Mortal Kombat 11 EU. It's been a great day so far, and more good games to come. And just like that, we are reaching the home stretch of our EU MK11 action here for EVO 2021. My name's Ketchup, joined by Falcon. As always, I'd like to welcome everyone back. And winners finals is about to begin. Desarted versus Makaran. Do we think Shang Tsung versus Scarlet? That would be an unbelievable showing.
It really would. I mean, so Makaran obviously, you know, displaying an incredibly strong Scarlet. It feels like it's been such a long time since we've actually seen Makaran play, just because they played the first set and already got themselves the spot in winners finals. Same with Desarted, and I feel Shang Scarlet seems very likely. You know, whether or not Desarted actually decides to stick with the Shang that we saw success with earlier is another story, because we've obviously mentioned the fact that Desarted has got a really strong Sub-Zero that he's been putting time into a lot in the past couple months, and he also used Sub-Zero to make it into the top 8 winners. So over here in the winners finals, we're going to be, taking down Javier with Shang. We could be seeing Shang again. Generally speaking, though, I think if Makaran's likely to pick Scarlet or Cetrion, chances are we could see Sub.
Entirely depends on the character. I mean, the second we get to see whatever the picks have been here, it just gives us that extra little bit of information, because it just comes down to whether Makaran hates the matchup. If he hates the matchup with Scarlet, he will pick Cetrion. But Scarlet has always been his best character. I think he's very aware of that too. There are just some matchups that maybe he deems so bad, he just doesn't even want to try. And Cetrion does bring a certain level of similarity, and it depends. Yeah, Sub-Zero. So I can only imagine does not like fighting Sub as Scarlet and prefers it as Cetrion, which is kind of weird because some Cetrion players out there say they hate fighting Sub-Zero. So
yeah, I would have thought so. Like I would have thought that the Scarlet would probably fare a little bit better for the way that he likes to play Scarlet. But then again, like we've been watching Asadamatsi's Cetrion earlier today. Makaran's is slightly different. Generally the same sort of methodical approach, but Makaran, unafraid to just play a little bit more aggressively, but that down 2 KB nice and early for Desarted. Gonna double down 2 just in case there was a break.
always potential that maybe this has been just a first game pick, you know? If the Cetrion just does not work, maybe we'll go back to Scarlet at some point, but it kind of looks to me like the Cetrion's doing just fine right now. Desarted, the Sub-Zero, really good execution on this guy. That's what you have to watch out for. That's why he often likes to take Rising Ice, for example. Those gigantic Rising Ice combos the character has. Anti-Air for Makaran. Oh, goes in for it, but has no meter to really get anything other than Natural Barrier. That was as much damage as you can get, but there goes the Winds and finally gets the round.
And yeah, I mean, honestly, winners finals over here, if you're Makaran, this is really like your highlight tournament over here. You know, this is where you really want to push even further than you've ever gone before. And I think picking Cetrion is really like the right call in terms of the fact that she is just a better character and he wants to play sort of with that comfort in mind. A great air to air right there. Tried to get the Deadly Winds pickup. Luckily for Makaran, did not get punished by that back point, as you saw Desart try and reach for that. But the reversal counter with the slide in that situation.
There's the barrier once more. The barrier often used on block. Oh, there's that reversal punish though. Gotta watch out doing that Hell's Wrath against Sub-Zero. Oh, counter hit's gonna be so much damage. We say that Cetrion's not really a damaging character. That changes when she gets a counter hit. KB goes for, whoa, whatever that was.
Yeah, that short hop attack. I'm not sure what he was fishing for over there, but this is Sub. We're talking about just raw slide over here in the neutral again.
God,
he has
what?
the KB.
I've never seen so many raw slides at this point of a tournament, Falcon.
He just feels it.
I'm gonna slide around. See you later, mate.
At that point, really, it's like it was a disaster piece for Makaran in the sense that it was just a wrong guess into a 50-50 fatal blow, right? Would have been it, but the slides, he still has that fatal blow as well in this last round, which is even scarier for Makaran as he's got himself in the corner right now, unable to really find a way out as he's being overwhelmed by the pressure of Desarted Sub-Zero.
Mixed all day, every day as the creeping ice. Even more of it to come, and there's the back two, Desarted. I think that last round was stealing away momentum, and Makaran just totally unable to recover after that. Totally unable to. Now, Cetrion again? Maybe. But if this Cetrion doesn't work a second time, maybe we'll see the Scarlet.
Maybe. I mean, honestly, like you were saying before, Scarlet is Makaran's best character in our opinions. It's like we honestly he just plays that character very, very comfortably. And I think that sometimes it might just be worth going for the comfort pick. You know, even if the character isn't as good, it's just a matter of the fact that you know this character so comfortably in and out that you're kind of ready for things. You know, like stray pickups, to ready to convert those a lot more comfortably and such. But regardless of anything, Sub-Zero is still, you know, an evident problem. And the way that Desarted's playing against Makaran seems very frustrating, to be honest. I mean, once Makaran was in that corner, it was just a matter of guessing wrong 4 times in a row against 4-2, I think. Something like that.
It's the second you get put in the corner against creeping ice, it can be rather scary, you know, because there are certain instances where on hit or block or whatever, you can kind of jump out, maybe you can challenge, but there's just so much that Sub-Zero can throw at you that it really sometimes isn't as easy as that. Speaking of which, though, looks like Desarted's a bit eager to start things off with a slide. Now, on one hand, I do kind of respect it. You want to start things off with a bang, and you've got so much health to work with. You do a slide at the beginning and just buffer it into Amplify. Kind of like right now, you're going to get those KB requirements. You know, the slide needs 3 of the Amplifies to have that crushing blow.
There's also a very good chance you can tilt your opponent by opening straight out the gate like that, you know? Oh, overcommitment, though, against the breakaway. Makaran's getting himself a nice 2-1-3 punish over here. Forces the breakaway from Desarted as well. So they are now sitting on no defensive bars each if Desarted finds a solid hit. I was not expecting that slide right there, Ketchup, but that was so fast.
Desarted has gone for a significant... Yo, the reaction. Makaran getting the punish on that, seeing the ice ball and just low profiling it. That is kind of a tight window, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah. Slide. Okay, we all know it's coming. He spins it!
He did. Okay, plus frames, he got hit.
Oh my god.
The fatal blow was a questionable decision. I don't think he would have survived any hit over there. Unless he read the throw, but... Okay, that's going to get
really
confirmed.
Expensive for Desarted, but he's actually going to get another combo here. Rising Ice forcing the break. Looks in for the grab, but the important thing is that he's still got Makaran in the corner, at least for now. As every hit comes out, though, she pushes herself out piece by piece.
We're seeing Macaran chunk down this life bar and Disarded. There's a huge difference in damage, as you're going to see displayed to you right now. As we're seeing with the Rising Ice, drops the combo. Very uncharacteristic for a player like Disarded. Now back throw back into that corner. Macaran gonna keep him over there. Disarded has that fatal blow that you gotta watch out for. Very little scaling on that. One wrong guess could be it, but Macaran gonna keep him standing with that natural barrier. Deadly Winds trying to establish something, keep himself safe. And Disarded now has him in the corner. Oh, that could have been it.
We all saw the start up of that Sub-Zero forward too. I think if Disarded did it just a little bit earlier, then maybe that fatal blow would have completely stolen the game away, but he keeps Macaran in the corner. No flawless block on that barrier. It is a really tricky flawless block. There's so much you have to worry about. No breaker. No waits for the inevitable break. Looks for the low as well. There's the overhead. Oh, good lord. Here's the double Rising Ice. Drops the combo again!
Yeah, maybe some nerves from Disarded. Not too sure about that, but either way, that was a huge opportunity for him. Dropping that cost him a fair bit, as you're going to see that slide get punished by Macaran, albeit not for too much damage. Getting some nonetheless. A block on the forward two. This time Macaran gonna get another punish. Spinning a bar for only 20% though.
I mean, you get to significantly notice when you don't have the crushing blow punish. She does not hurt you that much at all. It's why Decide will be taking these big risks, because you get punished, you lose 20%, who cares? However, that is going to be a 1-1. That was, for me, less about Macaran and more about Desarted being the cause of that loss. He had an opening in the corner. Those two bars, the reason he spends both bars there is because, if I remember right, you do a couple of Rising Ice, you do a couple of hits, 1-2-4 Ender does Crushing Blow because you've got enough hits in the combo, and that's about 50%. That's a huge
it's something
combo.
Ludicrous like that, between like 52 to 53. It's a lot of damage, and then I feel like something like that becomes infinitely scarier when the sub has Fatal Blow as well, because then you got to worry about the whole, instead of catching, you got the 1-2-4 Ender to the straight up guess into game, really. That's an entire life bar essentially in that one sequence. But those drops, yeah, like you said, those really cost him that match, because he lost positioning, he was back in the mid screen, he was forced to play how Macaran wanted, and then he started letting out the slides, like we saw successfully before, but they didn't quite work out this time. We saw Macaran's defense step up that much more, but the punishes, albeit he got a lot of them, they didn't really hurt.
Oh wow, just an ice ball on its own at jump distance. Surprising stuff. Overcommits to the vine. Maybe not expecting a breakaway, because that's a punish with your name on it. Nice uppercut though. Knows the breakaway's coming, squeezes out as much damage as you possibly can. There's the creeping ice. Macaran knows that's not real. You can jump the amplify, and he's able to escape the corner because of it.
Okay, the reversal counter with that slide. Gutsy decision right there from Disarded. Raw creeping ice off that flawless block jumping. Okay, Macaran, you see it just trying to play with this space at the moment. Neutral jump right there to blow up the advancement from the back 1-4 string. Now Macaran trying to use that back 3. Deadly Winds to push back Disarded a little bit. Disarded clearly fishing for a counter poke, trying to make that back 3 work for him, and no confirm from that jump in, but the forward throw is going to give him the Yoki that he might need to close out this round. Air to air through the interactable, and that is going to be that for Disarded.
Absolute control. Macaran doesn't have a defensive bar there. There are only one, so no far teleports possible. Got to try and fight your way out normally. Goes in for the regular telly. I kind of like that choice. A more unpredictable way of activating it, rather than just using it on its own, I suppose. That down 4. We trade down 4s back to back. Johnny Cage hype in the background over simple low pokes. Man needs to get a hobby. Oh, there's the down 2 though.
Okay, the forward 2 into the creeping ice. Scary situation if you're Macaran right now. No confirm to the ice ball from 2-1, but still a lot of damage on the table. Macaran has the fatal blow to work with, but this is looking a little bit bleak for him right now, Ketchup. We're seeing Disarded. Oh!
That wasn't intentional. That wasn't intentional, but the brutality definitely was. Traffic cone in the background. One nearby. I feel like that brutality's like, I want to be one of those. There you go. You become.
But yeah, honestly, Macaran right now, okay, so game number 1, that was pretty much, a bit back and forth between both players. Ultimately, Disarded came out on top. Game number 2, Macaran showing that he was able to keep his head cool when Disarded was choking combos, not able to really cash out on as much damage as he would have wanted, and generally had some drops, some execution problems. Game number 3 over here, this is looking, a little bit different. Disarded's definitely kind of got that momentum, and now we're seeing a situation where we could see Macaran play Scarlet, but Generally speaking, though, I think they seem to have the right idea with Cetrion. It just, you know, there's a very big damage factor difference.
And Desarted is showcasing a lot of fearlessness here. The slides are absolutely messing with him. And okay, we had a one-sided defeat, which has encouraged. It's time to go back to Scarlet. I'm curious over this matchup. Oh, that was so clean.
That was very nice.
Forward to boiling point.
Okay, Desarted gonna try guarantee some pressure off that hip poke, but over here he's gonna get the confirm. Yeah, 2-1 into the ice ball. Keep him launched with the rising ice, and in that combo with the slide, push towards the corner. And then the escape failed as well to top things off for Desarted. He's got that back throw KB to work with. And you know that catch up earlier on, if you were not here, said that Sub-Zero's forward throw has, you know, double-digit plus frames. You get good Oki. The back throw is going to be the KB. And now Makaran really going to try and deny that. Has the plus frames.
Flawless blocks kept Makaran in this fight so far. The instant jump in did catch him. Another flawless block, but no meter to up 3 this time, plus frames. The down one challenges it. Hang on a second. Forward throw to loop and really give us what could be a match point. Baiting out the flawless block is Desarted. He knows that Makaran is so flawless block happy. Again, the staggers. Anything into Fatal Blow on his mind. Flawless block saves him again. A raw jump in and a grab.
Just going for it. He's playing very... Oh my goodness, that could have been slide punish, but it wasn't enough. The flawless block, not enough to mitigate that chip damage that was going to be it. And now Desarted is on set point in winners finals, looking to make it into grands in winners side.
That would be unbelievable for him. I know he's going to be proud of his accomplishments, but being able to get grand finals of an Evo, not something I think he maybe ever expected. However, there's the 1-2-4. Full combo, just shy of 40%. The empty jump again, because such an obvious jump normally baits out a rather obvious flawless block, doesn't it?
It does, yes. You can tell he's trying to play with that. He's trying to play the mind games over here. A lot of mind games back and forth, obviously, at the highest level of Mortal Kombat we have over here to showcase for you guys in Europe. And that 4-2 not going to work out. Stand for anti-air from max range right there from Makaran. He tries to get a bit of a pickup, but the flawless block reversal on the jump in from Desarted is going to establish things for him. A little bit of health back as well for Makaran from that bloodshot. Now Desarted has the fatal blow! Oh
no. Oh no. The break! Wait a minute. By going for a little bit of extra damage he has left on the board, doesn't commit! That was the opportunity! Oh my good lord, how did this round extend to where it is? Desarted, that was your round!
He didn't believe. He didn't even do the creeping ice. I mean, the creeping ice probably would have killed. And it would have kept you safe.
Really strange playing Sub-Zero and not believing.
Yeah, that's a real tough one right there. For Desarted, Makaran managing to come out on top in that exchange. Now we are tied at 1 round apiece over here. Makaran fighting to keep himself in at the moment. Oh, another dropped combo from Desarted.
And that is going to do a lot of damage because this is boiling point Scarlet. Oh, just watch it drain. Almost 35%. Not too shabby. Able to jump the technical. They trade. Good trade for Makaran. The break. No KB for you. The block goes in for creeping ice for a bit more safety. Overhead versus overhead. There's the break. Potentially the last one I think we could see this whole game. No one's got any meter anymore.
They've completely expunged all of it at this point. That jump in is going to be clean. He doesn't have enough damage at the moment, I think, to kill, but it is going to do a big chunk of what Makaran has left.
Now, what's we going to see from this? We're going to see a lot of damage on the Fatal Blow, and now the grab versus strike. There is a bar of defensive meter. Makaran squeezes out a down one. The air-to-air picks it up and finds the conversion. Makaran, this boiling point was unnecessary, but we take it. And now, game 5 again. Sub-Zero versus Scarlet for now. I mean, are we going to see a Shang change or surely Sub-Zero all the way?
I think, honestly, he might play Shang. Because let's be real for a second, right? If you're having this many execution problems in winners finals, and they are definitely costing you these games, Shang's OS could really help you out. It could really, really help you out and just consistently getting at least a set amount of damage on the table where you're not in a situation you're going to get punished, like if you just whiffed Rising Ice like we saw in this game over here. But now in a game 5, I mean, this is an amazing way to pan out for winners finals, but Desarted, I guess, really needs to seriously consider the fact that these drops are costing him a lot.
And not much time to really think about it. Sounds a bit like Sub-Zero still getting picked. if my ears aren't lying to me, but there's always a chance to maybe, take that time out. In these online tournaments, right, this character select time in the lobby, it's kind of all you get for breathing space.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of room to think about what's been going wrong. At least in this case, it's rather obvious what Decided is doing wrong here. They just need to tighten up the execution because he's running out of time.
And also, I mean, I want to give a props to Makaran for that last conversion as well in that game. That was sick. That was a very, very patient conversion off that really goofy air-to-air into the stand 1 to the 4-4. That was just nice. You appreciate that when you play a lot of Mortal Kombat. Okay, Makaran now.
Again, the jump-ins. This is one thing that Makaran, he's been getting a couple of anti-airs, but for the most part, when Sub-Zero gets that jump in, it is big damage. Now an early escape failed. Not a way you want to start a round.
Yeah, definitely not. You can see him fishing with that back one right there, trying to catch the hit on Makaran. Makaran trying to use that back one, did not work out for him. Counter hit right here, Decided using the Rising Ice. Gonna be ending the entire combo. Clean combo right there, no drops this time. Looking a little bit better, the reversal counter slide, but the micro duck from Makaran building back a little bit of life. Oh my god! Catch up into the down 2 again. The one time he tried to throw over there, that was that. And now Decided once again over here at set point, looking to make it into grand finals. But Makaran's been putting up a hell of a fight so far. See how he turns this around potentially.
If he can, the back step into back 1 to call out the low. You actually rarely see that against Scarlet, but now it's time. The 1-2, I think he was maybe trying to bait a breakaway. Creeping Ice, doesn't want to overcommit again. He knows Makaran has displayed that that's not real. Amplify could be jumped in on.
Okay, forward 2 into the Bloodshot right there. Tried to get the anti-air, did not work out. Now Decided he's definitely going to get the breakaway over here from Makaran. That he does. Makaran with a correct guess over there, blocks the overhead.
I love how he doesn't heal. He doesn't use the heal because he wants to keep Fatal Blow. So smart. Fatal, no! Doesn't confirm.
Yeah, that misconfirm could have potentially done something really bad for Decided, but the double down 1 checks. Oh, he's pressing. He's pressing, Ketchup.
Oh, and the reverse throw to counter the press. Decided does how many down 1s in a minute, but he is able to move his way into grand finals, where Sub-Zero and the flavors he's about to create will be waiting for one more opponent.
Sub-Zero wins.
Happy guy.
Sub-Zero
Enjoying his ice cream.
Scorpion on the front of it dropped his ice cream. He's really upset. That's a profile icon. You see it online all the time. People just get hype over sad Scorpion. But I mean, yeah, that was a display and a half from Decided, just pulling out that offense, turning it up to 11, and really giving us that final moment of, I'm going to go into grand finals whether you like it or not. Now, Makaran lying in wait and loses final. And that entirely depends now between K-Top and Javier. The top 4 is officially decided.
It really is. I mean, that's wild because now, obviously, Decided, huge congrats to you making it into the grand finals of winner's side. It's now a case of Makaran is going to have to deal with Javier and K-Top, first playing their set. And then whoever wins out of that is really going to set up the opportunity where if Makaran beats them, can go for the run back in grand finals and still secure that spot. But it's going to be really hard. You're now down on your last tournament life. And when you have Javier and K-Top, 2 people that have pulled off some insane 3-2 victories over there in the losers' quarters, as you can see on the bracket, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a real tough one.
I'm looking at this bracket and I'm seeing 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. We may have had one-sided results at the very beginning, but that is a far cry from where we are now. And it's just the skill gap getting closer and closer. EU Mortal Kombat 11 has been such a high-level display for a very long time. I think a big part of that comes down that Mortal Kombat 11, MKX, and Justice 2, they've all had phenomenal netcodes. So community tournaments and kind of players being in the situation, it's nothing new. We're no stranger to it. And I think players like K-Top, for example, are able to play in this environment and get nice and used to what they're doing. And it just gives us these tournaments that are absolutely, this is MK11 at the highest level.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Javier, obviously, he's got that, Burning Spear buff right there. The double forward throw is a nice chunk of damage. Now, I hope that K-Top I see him fishing for the dash punch KB on the teleport back, but the cancel, but every single time he's been a little bit too short on the distance. And that could get him killed at times, but 42% pretty much for Javier right there is going to use the plus frames in the back 3 check just to knock him with that overhead and secure himself the first round over here in the loser semis.
Curious to see how Javier approaches this matchup differently to Mirko. He's kind of I almost feel like sometimes maybe I compare the two of them too much because they are separate players in their own right, but they have such a similar style and they are very much the top 2 Scorpions in this part of the world. How did Javier get this one up over K-Top, right? Oh, looks like all-out offense right now is the key.
Looks like he just seems to be smothering K-Top a little bit. K-Top being a bit overzealous right there. A little bit too antsy with that down 2, reading the breakaway. Didn't cash out in any more damage as we're now seeing 1 bar apiece. That is going to give him the amp over here, but instantly dealt with by MK Javier right here. He's going to spend both those bars, and this should close things out nicely for him. As Wizards Club, MK Javier is going to take game number 1 over K-Top in, might I add, very dominant fashion.
I was about to say the same thing. Convincing fashion is the key to take away from that first game because it was offense. The game belonged to Javier. K-Top often had no opportunities to do what he wants to do. He was not on offense. He wasn't even able to play neutral because Javier spent both rounds point blank and was able to just play a better game of Rushdown. So is that going to be a taste of things to come? Who knows?
Honestly speaking, I mean, we could very well see, you know, the absolute awakening of MK Javier in this bracket with the remainder of it here in the top 4 as well. I mean, making that reverse sweep happen against Asadamante earlier has probably got his morale through the roof over here, especially when you were in EVO top 8, now in top 4, and you just made that spot with your last tournament life on the line. But obviously, we were talking about how much K-Top wants to win earlier. Everyone in this bracket really wants to win. No one is taking it easy. Everyone's bringing their game. But K-Top didn't really seem like K-Top in that match, to be honest, Ryan. He seemed a little bit just like he was being forced into the defense.
You're not used to seeing K-Top get bullied. Normally it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But it's a combination of the way he plays, plus, look, the character he plays. Jackie is a character that will do that. But, again, just the speed, the pace, the neutral duck. I mean, Javier is one step ahead right now.
Javier has just consistently been 5-head since the remainder of the last set, I think. Ever since that wake-up teleport, or just that teleport, that won that round. Oh, the air-to-air against the leap. Javier is ready for it. As this young man's pulling out all the reactions right over here. That 1-1 into the spear to knock him back into the corner. And that crossover 3 is going to be all he needs to secure that round as well.
Man's looking to speed run this set. K-Top maybe should pick up that chainsaw, mate, because right now, Javier is all over you. And it's like, he's freezing up. Buttons on block into more buttons, and K-Top is not challenging. I feel like there's something going on here.
Very well could be. He could be getting a little bit nervous as well. And Javier gonna get that KB. Show him the sandals as well. Launch him.
Not breaking that. I think not breaking that was a mistake because you've given up half of your life already. The forward fours that are just hitting the desperation down 2. K-Top, you need to wake up.
Oh, he finally got it. He finally got it. He was fishing for that KB right there. And, oh yeah, but I totally agree with you about the not breaking away before, especially if you're a 950 HP character, because now this is just disaster territory
And one
if you get opened up.
I'm kind of waiting for a fatal blow on block. I feel like K-Top, if he does the fatal blow on block like I'm expecting, it's going to be a sign of him kind of cracking a little bit. However, please prove me wrong.
Oh,
that kick.
He read. Okay, so it was either going to be the empty crossover into low poke or into throw. Both were just instantly dealt with that short hop 3, which is not an option you often see very much, I guess, from Scorpion. But it worked perfectly. You know, Javier right now is in total control of this set, which is not, I think, what either of us expected.
It's been a complete speedrun of this series so far. 2 games have happened like that. We've had game 5s across the board for the last 3 series or so, and I really thought this could be another close one. It still could be. There's potential for it. I don't want to count out K-Top because I've learned many times not to do that. He's been able to bring it back, but there's just something about the way Javier is playing this matchup that K-Top is highly uncomfortable and, dare I say, not very confident. There's just a lot of opportunities where he's freezing up on defense. This character select that we're in right now, this needs to be put the controller down, kind of, you know, think about what you need to do and just understand what I'm doing right now is I'm giving Javier all this respect. He is just bullying his way in and I'm just having to deal with it. I need to do something to get myself back into this game.
For sure. He's just definitely got to bide his time, think about it and everything. But K-Top, you know, he's going to be living and dying with this Jackie pick. He's going to be locked into Jackie for the remainder of the set. We have seen him play Cabal and stuff in the past as well, so I did sort of wonder if he would switch characters, but we are going to be seeing the Jackie through and through. You got that dash punch KB out nice and early. Javier right now is burning, and this round is looking a little bit more like K-Top.
This is the first time all series he's the one that cemented the offense, and look what's happened. Oh wait, advancing. Wish I could say that's the first time I've seen that happen, but Scorpion's back three just causes wonderful encounters. Landing, escape failed plus KB. This is a comeback that could really happen, I would say, apart from Shrapnel Blast.
Still got that throw KB, still has the fatal blow in this round over here as well. Those things in tandem together can be very, very destructive on your health bar, especially if you're 950 HP. But that 4-3-4 whip punish right there forces the breakaway as well. The early jump too to just cancel it and go for the air to air. And this is a lot of damage right now that Javier's gonna have to hold. Commits to that duck as well.
Commits to yet another one, right as you say it. The flawless block on Scorpion's up three. K-Top knows about the wake up right now. However, needs more. Doesn't flawless block forward four now. Side switching throw. K-Top brings himself back in. Hang on a second. All right, hang on a second. That was a clean and easy next game. So K-Top's brought himself back into the fight, being able to be the aggressive one first. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, now yeah, exactly as you said it, really. That was just a matter of K-Top just found the aggression. He got that momentum. He had a very nice flow of the game from when he was playing it from there, and he really just, you know, kind of rode that wave out really, really nicely, and we just saw true K-Top fashion in that game right there. But, you know, that is only the 1 point on the board for him. Javier's still on that 2 point, still only needs the one more win just to secure himself, you know, the advancement in the bracket. But it's looking really just like who can steal that momentum first, Ketchup. What do you think about it?
I feel like it's hard to say. Javier, that kind of slipped through his fingers right there. Almost felt like maybe he got a bit too autopilot, maybe too comfortable. That can happen when you easily like 2-0 someone, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to just keep doing the same thing again. And then in the blink of an eye, something changes, and then you've lost the game before you know it. So I think I'll have an answer for you after this first round, maybe. But K-Top, at the very least, has become more confident.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. You know, Javier's been super on point with getting those trip guards with the teleport, but K-Top not allowing any of that to happen right now. Look how much life Javier's lost already.
I like the choice to go in for the button there. The second you put Plasma on the floor, a lot of Jackies like to throw, and K-Top won't. He only throws if you just block all day, every day. But Javier, the escape, looks for the anti-air, and he's caught. Hang on a minute. KB gets spent, and I think we're going into game 5. Ignore the health bars, by the way. I think the plasma does cause a visual bug sometimes.
Yeah.
The damage is real. Don't worry.
It's always a dash punch KB as well, isn't it?
Always. It's always the dash punch.
I feel like okay, the 4-3-4 KB on the counter hit right here to start off the next round. He did spend that bar as well, but you see K-Top, he's got no bar on the side for himself. Just built back one offensive bar that we're going to see used over here. He's going to go for the meterless combos. Unbreakable at that. Short hop attack is going to get blocked, as well as Javier now on the approach trying to make something happen, but K-Top denying any potential at offense.
Walk-up grab. We're starting to see a few more of those. Javier hasn't had a chance to grab for about a game and a half at this point. Sticks out another cheeky back three. There's the conversion. K-Top misses the combo, though. However, it's a grounded hit. No confirm. Looking for it to be on block, maybe, was the plan. But I think the way things are going, we could definitely have a game 5 on repeat. There's just been so many all day. He blocks in time. K-Top needs just one more. Oh, and he finds it. Game 5 begins again.
So I'm very perplexed at the fact that Javier's air-to-air reactions were so good in the first 2 games. He's just been playing more grounded in the last 2 games. Like, he's really just kind of been a very grounded player a lot of the time. We're not really seeing the air-to-airs. We're not really seeing the reads coming out. It seems like he's just being a bit too respectful at times, and K-Top's just taking advantage of that. And now, like you said, game 5. So it's crazy how quick that momentum can be switched around. And now this is really going to be the make-or-break factor for these players going forwards to see who's actually going to come out on top to make it into that loser's finals for a chance to run at Macaron.
Well, before those first 2 games, Javier was assertive, dominant. Everything was confident, and it was just every single play worked perfectly. It was like I went into this with a game plan and know what to expect. Clearly was watching K-Top versus Mirko because you're going to be taking some notes when they played earlier today. But now, it almost feels like those notes have just gone out of the window because K-Top has this complete control over it. It's the nature of Jackie and the nature of his rushdown style, but he is no longer the one that's just getting bullied for 2 games straight. Here we go, final game. This is top 4, remember. Winner of this moves on to fight Makaran, and K-Top opens up with a colossal jumping.
Now that is a huge statement to make right in the beginning of this match. And just like that, the interactable for an additional 20% right there. Stan Javier, he can potentially use this corner position really, really well for himself if he's able to lock down K-Top over here. K-Top just about built back that defensive bar as well. Throw escape. Small.
He's just trying to anti and he pays the price. Javier gets caught by the jumping off the leap, and K-Top on the verge of a clean reverse sweep. One more round puts this Greek Jackie into top 3.
Javier right now, I know what the Spanish FGC is like. Those guys are going crazy right now supporting Javier, I am sure. But likewise, the same with the Greek players as well. Super strong players out there, all a very, very tight scene. As we are down over here, this is looking really, really impressive right now from K-Top, who's letting all the throws rock, where he hadn't been using them before.
How many throws can man fit into 1 round? Answer, yes. Goes for a down 1, interrupts it with the 1-1 though. Javier, his time to bring it back. Short hop. Actually being kind of risky doing a short hop against the corner. That would have been a gigantic punish. Oh no! Gets launched to the down 2. This is his last chance. He punishes but doesn't commit. Oh! There we go again. The game is over and K-Top keeps the clutch factor alive and well, bringing Greece into top 3. And I think just a wonderful representation of just how diverse the European Mortal Kombat scene is. We've had Italy make the joint top 5. We've had Russia in there as well. We've had clearly there Spain unfortunately falls short, but Javier giving it one hell of a go. And now it's Austria / Poland, if I'm not mistaken. I believe there is Polish there too for Makaran. K-Top Greece, and then of course Desarted for Russia. Yeah. There is so much Mortal Kombat in this side of the world, let me tell you.
There really is. I mean, you know, Russia's large enough to have its own independent scene as well. There's so many killers out there, honestly. Really, really strong subsector of the European scene that we have. But I also want to give it just a huge congrats and respect to MK Javier for making it this far, and for Wizards Club, you know, backing him and everything like that. Because he really did go from a combat leaguer to an online warrior to making it here top 4 in EVO. That is a ridiculous you know, comeuppance for the young man.
So going into this online world, and a huge part of it has been the PlayStation tournaments where we've had open series, we've had pro competition, which the online version of that this year became a part of PlayStation tournaments as well, using the kind of online infrastructure. It gave a lot of players opportunities to grind still, even though we're all stuck indoors, right? You know, hopefully next year things are able to get a little bit back to normal, quote unquote. And I'd love to see us be able to play again, but that's a story for another time. The point is, players have used the online opportunity in Europe and have become the best they can possibly be. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, we just want to give a quick shout out as well to Metal Revolution. So be sure to go to the link that you see in the chat, download it from there, and use the code EVOMR, all caps. You'll have limited access to the game before the launch. So get yourself involved. Had a chance to try it out myself. Super fun game, and you know, just be sure to check it out. Get yourself in nice and early.
I know that Mustard had a really good time with that. I know he was playing it. It was a couple of builds ago, I think. It was a while back, but he was just addicted to it while it was still there. But now, losers finals and grand finals, the only 2 sets that remain in this tournament. There's plenty more EVO to come, obviously, plenty of games here, and even with MK11. But it's been a good time so far. I'm going to quickly risk breaking kayfabe. I believe we're going to a break now, but I want to just get that confirmed before we do. Hey, we are going to a break. We'll see you in a few minutes. Losers finals and grand finals, don't miss it. We'll be finishing soon. Well, when it comes to EU Mortal Kombat 11 here for EVO 2021 Online, we are officially in the home stretch as top 3 is about to be decided. My name's Ketchup, joined by Falcon. I'd like to welcome everybody back. And I think we'll be getting into this game as soon as it's K-Top versus Makaran. And then afterwards, it's going to be grand finals. Desarted currently lying in wait with either Shang or Sub-Zero. I think Sub-Zero is probably more of a safer bet here. But K-Top, I think has been a real underdog throughout this entire tournament. Started on the loser's side and has moved his way all the way into top 3. Jackie, Scarlet, and Sub-Zero lying in the wait.
So, yeah, I mean, K-Top's had an absolutely stellar performance throughout the entirety of the losers bracket so far. Makaran losing that set so narrowly to Disarded earlier on is sitting in that losers finals ready to take on K-Top. But, you know, I wanted to point something out a bit earlier that I didn't get a chance to. That's K-Top, when playing in the pro competition, was playing in EU East. A lot of the players that he ended up playing past round 1 losers, he didn't play in pro comp. So he hadn't really had the relevant tournament experience against these players, Makaran being one of them. So I'm not sure how much these guys have actually played against each other, but Makaran going to be rocking that Scarlet pick. I know, feeling very confident generally with the character, as it is his main. K-Top on an absolute tear in this losers bracket so far. He's going to try and see what he can do.
I mean, with how the closing moments of winners finals went, it just still looks like Scarlet is the one. However, dealing with this rushdown might be a bit difficult. That was definitely an execution error. Makaran heals, but loses out on Fatal Blow. Don't worry, we'll give it back. Here we go. Makaran, can he find an opening here? Because right now, K-Top all over the place. And it looks like, well, answer's no. Okay, this is a weird matchup, though, because Scarlet, she's grounded. She is very button heavy. But this Jackie variation is airborne as hell. You have to be so confident in your defensive play.
It makes me think of back forward 3 as well, and back forward 3 being a potential option from Scarlet, that blood burst, to try and deal with potential leap pressure. I think I've seen Makaran on stream do that a few times, but regardless over here, this is just a matter of a nice flawless block as well to alleviate some of that pressure. He uses that back forward 3 burst to get the extension on this combo and ends in that boiling point. Spends both bars over there, but that is a substantial amount of damage.
Bring yourself back into the fight. Inevitably when Jackie gets closed in again, she's going to want to try and just get more damage on deck. So if you can even it, all the better. But again, not expecting the whole string. I think definitely expecting a stagger. Nice block on the overhead though, with the instant jump in. K-Top, the way things are going. No, get out. Hey, the damage on the floor. Oh, it's so good. May as well be a second player in there. Game 1, K-Top.
Yeah, I mean, that's a rough one, because K-Top's been so good at just using the instant air grenade launcher, blowing up counter pokes, setting out the carpet flame if it whiffs. It really is just a matter of you have to have so much of a lead already. You don't want to get put in that situation, because then it's just it's very, very difficult, if it's even possible, to keep yourself alive in those kinds of moments.
But from this situation, it was a little bit of Scarlet being able to exist, but mostly the Jackie show. K-Top's going to play this matchup ferociously. A big part of that, though, is because he knows who he's against. If you allow Makaran to put that offense on, his damage and conversions are absolutely fantastic. But at the same time, it is the neutral that sets him apart. It's a common thing with Scarlet players. You play this character because you like neutral, you like having good buttons, and you like being able to play that solid, grounded game. If K-Top can completely disregard that and be point blank all game, that's how he wins.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I feel like we've seen Makaran deal with players up, like, point blank. He's been able to kind of stop all that, mitigate a lot of their pressure and a lot of their offense by just having exceptional defense. But K-Top is a little bit more unpredictable, I'd like to think. He sort of plays to a very expansive flowchart, and you don't really know what's exactly coming next. It's like just this big nether of options that he could take, and really, like, if you make the wrong choice once with a character like Scarlet, it seems really hard to pull yourself back from that, rather against Jackie.
And the pressure continues. K-Top gets the perfect call out on Makaran, not doing delayed wake up, so he goes for the plus on block string instead. Makaran trying to press these buttons, and they just don't work. The crushing blow comes out. K-Top, man, he's got so many rounds in such a short space of time. How does Makaran escape this? If he can.
Challenges on those plus frames right there. We're going to see the dash punch ender, the short hop right there into the carpet flames. Whoa, that was a buffer if I've ever seen one.
Oh!
Makaran gets himself that punish as well. Oh my goodness, Makaran just got opened up by the jump in. Right there, catch up. He's going to go for a late breakaway. Holds the plus frames right now.
There's just so much chip on top. Makaran trying to fight back. The high totally whiffs, and that's another one. K-Top! No, not again! Not 2 games in a row. Makaran cannot allow this.
Oh,
Heal.
man. This is peak right now, man. He's got the carpet flames out. Makaran still has the fatal blow to work with. Nice anti-air.
But it's not worth the fatal blow yet. Instant jump in. Oh no. Straight back in. No! 2 games in a row! Makaran is fed up of that.
Jackie Briggs.
Do you think we could see a Cetrion pick?
Maybe. I think this is do or die, right? This is losers finals, 2 games down. You have absolute confidence in this final character or you're out. So if there's any time to pick Cetrion, I think it would be now.
Yeah, if anything, I mean, obviously we've seen how Cetrion deals with Jackie as well. There's obviously, you know, the thing is there was tech pre-Ultimate about being able to low profile shrapnel, which I don't think is a thing anymore with Grenade Launcher since, you know, upgraded 2.0 to put it loosely. It's really a matter of the fact that that is just straight up a projectile. It doesn't have like a short shotgun style kind of reach. And that being said, I feel like the leap pressure pretty much remains as is. So I don't actually know if switching off a Scarlet is the right pick. It really just depends on how he's feeling about it. I think he's playing kind of just, he's just playing to K-Top's offense and on the defensive just entirely.
There's a reason it's taken so long already in between. So those 2 games, we'd already be in the next game by now. This is just, we're not seeing character select, but clearly time is being taken to think about what's going on.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you don't have a long time to make your choice, but this is a pivotal moment for Makaran. Top 3 is an amazing achievement, but I think he believes in his ability to get grand finals, and it will be the Cetrion coming out as a last-ditch effort. But K-Top gets the opening already, and he is just rushing this down. A man possessed, and it has been rushed down, the name of the game.
Ever since he had that slightly shaky set earlier on, he's just looked fully in form right there. Cashing out in the dash punch KB puts Makaran into fatal blow territory as well, but he doesn't have any offensive bar at the moment. That is an overcommitment if I've ever seen one. Makaran not going to spend the KB wisely enough after losing so much damage against Disarded on punishes earlier on. Has definitely learned his lesson.
4 damage on the floor, that's going to favor K-Top. Very much so. We are in fatal blow territory, but I just don't see K-Top getting easily opened up. Looking for the anti-air, though. That might have been buffered into fatal blow. Looks for it again, and it just doesn't work out. K-Top, match point, and he's 1 round away from grand finals to join Deserted.
Fight.
And not just that, he's looking to 3-0 Makaran as well, which has not happened throughout the entire day over here in this top 8. What a read right there from K-Top. The down 2 KB, Makaran with the great anti-air using the down 4 though.
K-Top drops the down 2 combo. A lot of damage left on the table. We're not able to escape the corner because of it. A lot more lies in the balance when you drop that kind of confirm. Dash punch though. Almost like it was on reaction to the boulder. Liu Kang flying kick energy, absolutely.
For all we know, it could have been. He's probably feeling the adrenaline so hard right now.
But he's feeling it too hard, perhaps, because that's the round. And Makaran staying in the fight.
Final round. Fight.
Destruction begets creation. The air-to-air attempt right there, whipping the air normal into that Hell's Breath. Flawless block on that boulder stops that pushback. Lets K-Top continue walking his way in to get that back throw. Has the Oki now. Down 4 check. Really good use of just low profiling things with Cetrion's. Very good down 4.
Breaker is used, but not before taking a decent chunk of damage anyway. That Cetrion down 4, pivotal in this matchup. It just goes so low to the ground. Another reaction, though, to punish the boulder. And now Makaran in the corner. No defensive bar. Getting clipped by what could have been a full combo, but K-Top didn't go all the way. And this might be his last chance. The double blast expects the down 4 and gets exactly what he wants.
Oh, went over the short hop attack blocked.
Oh my god, what's going on?
No legit punish Makaran right now. He's been given chances. Oh, we could turn this into something right now. He's going to have to reset him. Next hit can win if he confirms it. Oh my goodness, matchup! Empty short hop low.
I cannot believe I haven't seen that work in over a year, but it keeps him in the fight, and Makaran gets a game here.
What an ingenious decision right there to just play into K-Top's mental a little bit right there with that ultra cheeky clean hit confirm into that fatal blow. We're now at 2-1. That was, honestly, that was so dominant from K-Top right up until about halfway into that last round as well, which is the wildest thing because Makaran just turned it on its head. And now we are at 2-1, you know? This now opens the floor up for so much more. We could be seeing Makaran start to build up more momentum from that. We could potentially see K-Top playing a little bit more shaky. but
We
hard to
saw
say.
the layers. We saw the layers of that matchup developing, though, because one thing that was constantly calling out K-Top was the down 4 anti-shrapnel blast, really, because it would be one shrapnel blast into a jump in, the down 4 low profiles, he punishes, he anti-airs, whatever it is. But then at the end of that round, K-Top has started doing more of the double blasts, to call it out, and he started to get more confident in that. But Makaran still found a way to turn it around and pull off a sneaky little comeback. But we're going into this next game with way more information now.
Yeah, we really are. And Makaran said, Makaran Cetrion is looking just very. I think he looks comfortable. It seems like he's playing the character that kind of allows him to play the game a bit more on an even footing at the moment. I mean, definitely so, but at the same time, it's like a difference in being opened up as well, and how much chip can you realistically hold for the entirety of the game. That was also a lot of damage for Cetrion right there with that KB launcher.
And K-Top is being very, very impatient, and Makaran is punishing it. Counter hit, though. Here comes the launch, and a full combo of his own. Looks for the down 2 just to get kind of a little bit extra, right? Covering the breakaway in case you do it. If not, you can still confirm. There's the fatal blow. Speaking of confirm, man's going to probably take the round on this, because off 2 hits, that's barely.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, back 3-2 into it, I'm pretty sure that's dead. 950 HP Cetrion as well is not going to survive that one. As we see the shoes that Jackie's showing off as he kicks her through the barrier wall. And yeah, just like that, K-Top back over here on set point, looking to make it into grand finals. Loser's side. Makaran gonna try and stop that, because he wants that position himself. He's got a run back waiting for him in grand finals.
He's not going to be satisfied until the job is done, clearly. Instant jump into anti-air. Hell's Wrath doesn't combo, but he still gets the extra hit. K-Top, and there's the double blast again. He's calling out that down 4. Hook, line, and sinker. Full combo now, 30%. Looking for the jump in. I like the block on the low, though. Makaran looking for that fuzzy.
Yep, the neutral jump. The hit is going to whiff. He did not find anything from that. The 1-1-2 going to leap away back to the mid screen. The Hell's Wrath just to check K-Top on the way in, but the dash punch to close the distance. Didn't get more off it. Both players missing a potential punish window, and that forward throw is going to be a nice 13-14%-ish. A little bit bleak for K-Top. Oh, he found the hit. Got the breakaway.
No fatal blow, though. K-Top used it in the last round, so he's going to have to do a little bit extra. Unfortunately for him, Makaran fights his way out of the corner and takes the round. And we could have another game 5 here, folks. The way things are going, I'd believe it.
Yeah, these air to airs have been so good for Makaran so far, but you might want to get too confident with them, because that jump 2 from Jackie is still a demon button to deal with.
Jump in. I like that K-Top ended it in a 3-3. He really wants to be point blank. It's not about corner now. It's Oki. That's what we need. And that's how we're going to win the game. As K-Top keeps himself on match point, Makaran, this could be a last chance for him. Man's down to his final 30%. It is going to give him fatal blow, and 950 health could still carry him over. Oh,
he got the hit.
You're dead.
Keeps it unbreakable over here, and just like that catch-up, K-Top is going to be moving on to the grand finals over here in loser side to face off against Mysteries Discarded.
This is one final matchup that I cannot wait to see. I think it will be Sub-Zero versus Jackie again, but they have played each other so many times in the later stage of PlayStation tournaments. Open Series being a big one. Monthly finals, they would always clash heads. And once again, almost poetic that here we are with these two same players in EVO Online finals for EU. This is a great demonstration of different styles, different players. Makaran cannot give him more props for how far he was able to get.
100% agree with you.
I mean, finals with Scarlet, come on, an inspiration to character specialists everywhere.
For sure, man. I mean, Makaran has had one of the most tremendous level ups ever since I caught, pool play in Viennality, where I unfortunately couldn't attend. It's like, just ever since then, this dude has just leveled up so much, and we're clearly seeing just how far it takes you, but unfortunately has dropped down into the losers finals. Huge shout outs to Makaran as well. Super solid player, super nice guy, and K-Top. Now this is a matchup I guess we've seen a bit more, like Pro Comp EU East over here with Discarded K-Top, and yourself with the Open Series finals, and it's really just gonna be two players that love being asphyxiatingly oppressive, playing just exactly how they want to play, and it's gonna be a matter of who's gonna, kind of steal that momentum and just play their game.
Hey, this is double elim though, right? So K-Top still has every chance to reset this. And you know, I was almost sitting there thinking at the start of the day, I mean, well, we're going to finish this up in a few hours, you know? And just like that, we've had a complete change of the momentum. It's been game 5s everywhere, bar the one that we just saw, obviously, but it was almost one. And I think we could see a reset bracket. I think K-Top has unbelievable levels of momentum right now. He has such a chance to take what is now working for him, and he'll just run away with it. But we could see, I've just been told, thank you, production. Players are now jumping in. So our grand finals of the EU MK11 portion of EVO 2021 online kicks off now. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Pindy Ketchup, joined by Falcon. And I guess you're going to be with us for an extra few seconds / minutes. Shav, help me.
Yes. Well, this is Mortal Kombat 11. And no, in all honesty, so what we're really going to see, right? We're going to see Jackie, Sub-Zero, two characters that are, I mean, let's be real, right? They are in the top 5 most hated characters to play against in this game throughout the scene internationally. There's no sugarcoating it. That being said, both these players are clearly at the peak of performance with these characters over here in the European EVO Grand Finals, ready to showcase just why they are scumbag characters and why these guys are so good at using them.
No interference.
I have orders. Sub-Zero.
And now, Sub-Zero and Jackie. This is what we were expecting. And here we go. The Grand Finals. Point 2 begins. The immediate flawless block, but that's only going to save you from so much. The instant jump in, K-Top prepared. Pulls out the breakaway with the ground puddle, but nice start. They're getting mixed. This has not been 100% clean at the moment, but again, I say the EVO nerves are real, even in the online world.
They really are. They really are. Whether you're playing online, whether you're playing offline, still playing for a very prestigious tournament title right here, and a solid placing with that first place finish. Throw escape from Disarded right there. Flawless block on that 1-1. Couldn't get anything more from it. Seeing Disarded now trying to mix up K-Top a little bit. Goes for the low option. K-Top now using the plus frames, looking for a counter poke attempt with that forward 1-2. Didn't quite work out for him though.
Mixed up by the overhead, but Disarded. He used to, every time we would see that overhead before I would watch a Sub-Zero, it was dedicated into a rising ice or something similar. I do think the pressure of this situation is bringing with it, I think, a bit more reserved stuff. He's going for creeping ice to try and be safer, but it's not like him to do that.
I feel like he kind of just makes the most of his commitments. So it probably would be better to just go for the commitments, you know, cash out on the damage if you are right.
I guess at the same time, you're against Jackie. That counter hit KB damage is no joke.
Yeah, very true.
Wow! Instant leap just to get out of there. No flawless block from the started. Just letting the jump in rock as is. At any moment, you just have to watch out for a shrapnel blast. And now, happy to block for now. The 1-2, push back. This time he tries to interrupt. Does not expect the second blast. He's keeping an eye on K-Top's meter. Oh, there's the commitment.
That relentless fear right there from Disarded, just waking up, dashing his face forward 2 overhead. Now right here, oh, tried to get a punish. You could see he was playing with that spacing, but that jump 2, notoriously far horizontal reach from Jackie. Gets the forward 3 pickup off that high down 2 as well. And now Disarded is on the defensive trade hits right now. Both players with fatal blow. Meaty past the fatal blow interrupted on the startup. The armor did not kick in. Another throw escape catch up.
He's not got fatal blow in time, but he does manage to get the ground blast. A clean game that wasn't. Far from it. But you know what? K-Top able to kind of out-scramble that situation. And that missed fatal blow, I should probably give a quick disclaimer for anyone watching. Fatal blow, they had their armor adjusted a little bit. I believe it used to be frame 5. If I've got my numbers right, when the game first came out, it was on frame 5, the armor activates. They changed it quite early to frame 8. So using defensive fatal blows, especially ones that are really quick, they don't kind of work as just foolproof armored reversals, because they're not. You've got those 8 frames to work with, which is why it got stuck.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that the 1-2 as well, just being a very solid option right there. But in that situation as well, like K-Top, he really likes to use counter poke fatal blow at times, especially in a situation where it's just going to win him the game, or it's going to put him in a situation where he can put down flame carpet to win the game. It's a very scary thing to deal with, because the counter poke property of it really kind of, you know, the range of it and using it as a counter poke, it can be a scary thing when you're just trying to get your turn back. But over here, I mean, it was a pretty scrappy back and forth first game from both these guys. Disarded's only gonna have to win this set once for those unfamiliar with double elimination format over here, the losers side of the bracket. So K-Top in this instance is gonna have to win twice.
incredibly active down 2. Looks like he tried to stand up there, but that overhead low, God, it's so hard to react to. It can be done, but you need to be Neo from the Matrix. The fatal blow ready for Desarted. Has a charm, and he frees into it, and he creates the opportunity for himself. The low doesn't commit. Ooh, tries to be cheeky with that creeping ice. K-Top misses the jump in, waiting for his chance. He is dancing with the devil doing this, because at any point you could just see anything.
Oh my goodness, yeah, and that's gonna be that. You can tell he was really fishing for the roll as well with the back 1 reach, but just not far enough to make that even count. And now K-Top has Desarted in the corner. This is a scary place to be, regardless of which character you're actually on the defense against.
Thankfully for Desarted, that string on its own had so much pushback, he was able to escape the corner. Nice confirm, and a beautiful, flawless block. Here comes the overhead. Ooh, I think that was meant to be a back 1-4 perhaps. Instead gets a standing 4 on its own. Doesn't matter though, because he's done half the life already. The grab game begins, and K-Top gets thrown 2 times in a row. Instant wake up. Tries to confirm again. Didn't quite get it, but this has been a much better round for Desarted.
It really has. The air to air trade, I like that decision as well. Just take some damage that you can get. Now K-Top, he gets himself a lot of damage on the table right now. He's got Desarted, just being shimmied, holding those, but challenged with the 6 frame down 1 on that +2. No respect whatsoever. Desarted just needed that 1 hit to tie things up with 1 round apiece. Oh my goodness. K-Top right now locking down Desarted.
Don't press, mate! Oh, probably expecting that to be a crushing blow. But connected a little bit earlier than maybe we expected.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that one.
Wait a minute.
Didn't see the confirm.
What? He does it early! Now, normally, the Sub-Zero players that we know would use that reset and they'd loop it a few more times. Using the Fatal Blow now, at the very least, will escape the corner for him. So I do understand that choice. And hang on a second. The grab. 2 more clean hits. 2 more mix-ups, and he could actually make his comeback. Unfortunately,
really good.
The plasma. Watch out for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I really rate the decision to slide out the corner. He knew that was coming. All over commitment on that string. That's a very bizarre choice right there from Desarted. And now K-Top really just, he's fighting hard right now. This guy's trying to end this over here. And Desarted had some incredible plays throughout that game as well. But I mean, it's really just gonna come down to the consistency between both these players.
I don't know what's happened to my camera, but I'm significantly more green at the moment. How about that? Is it just me? Is that my Hey!
It's working out.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I could have got away with just ignoring it. But as we now jump into what could be our reset point here, K-Top, a man possessed. I said it before. He is unbelievably motivated at the moment because of just how much he was... He's always been a player that gets a lot of heat from the community, and it's because he plays Jackie. It's the only reason. And I know she's not the most popular character among the competitive scene because, well, she is popular, and I guess that's part of why people dislike fighting her, because she's a very common top tier.
Yeah.
K-Top has always had a lot of heat for his character choices because Jackie just fits that aggressive style the best. But he's able to very much kind of ignore the haters, as it were, and he's now top 8 of the EVO online, and now he's grand finals, 1 game away from reset. And I mean, how much, I think, negative opinion can one man deal with and still push through?
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, he's just really taking it in his stride, just ignoring all the haters, just staying on his game as well right here. As he gets the triple uppercuts right there in the corner, keeps down that flame carpet. Now, even though Desarted's blocking all this, he is still burning and holding that chip damage on top of it. Throw escape says, get off of me, as he tries to fight his way out the corner. But that punish the forward too?
Wow, active frames and then some, I guess. Desarted, man's in big trouble. The fatal blow is ready, and a Sub-Zero. A fatal blow always means you can exist, but he's just trying to panic down 2 and nothing is working. K-Top gets another one, and he needs just 1 more anything at this point. Desarted will concede that round. Oh my lord. Reset point for K-Top. It has been an unbelievably fast set.
This right now is hardly how I could have expected this to pan out so far.
I know, right?
Right now is just playing, like, I mean, just, yeah, he's just steamrolling at the finish. Yeah, just as you said it. 3 uppercuts into that 3-3 ender, gives him the Oki at mid-screen, Desarted with the wake-up jump, K-Top being respectful of it, throw escape into that 4. Oh, that was an execution error.
No way he wanted that, but Desarted will take that as a happy accident. Needs to get something with the standing 3. I don't know what that was, but that's a crushing blow with his name on it and a bunch of teeth flying out of there. There's the launch. commits to the whole thing. I don't know about that. Desarted, he's clearly affected by what's going on right now.
He really is. He could be super nervous right now as well, for all we know. He's gonna use this combo. Yeah, KB, that's gonna kill.
God, that hurts. Rising Ice Sub-Zero.
Final round. Fight.
All right, we're seeing K-Top on the offensive, jumping his way through, trying to work his way out this corner as well. As the last place you want to be against Sub.
Delayed wake up. I think he was looking for some kind of flawless block there, perhaps. That short hop and wake up was definitely not part of the plan, but it normally is a giveaway that a flawless block attempt was made. Extra blasts and Desarted showing it's the launch of his own armor break.
Oh man, you just never see that.
I haven't seen that since after that first came out. People just started using it. Beautiful.
Okay, Desarted now making a statement right here, taking that game for himself. Reset denied for now, as he has now got 1 point on the board for himself. Only needs to win himself 2 more. If he can play anything like he played that game, if not better, he's gonna have the grand finals in the bag. However, K-Top, he's gonna need that 1 more win, and then he's gonna have to win the whole set once more. And this is only gonna get progressively harder and harder as we're going along, as you're now seeing K-Top's momentum, the engine slightly cooling down. Desarted's awareness and matchup experience and his decision making, the reads that he's making, and the adaptability is starting to really come out now.
I think I'm looking at how this is going, and it looks like, for lack of a better term, Desarted has just woken up. He was not playing it as 100% in those past 2 games. Now, that was, in a huge part, K-Top just suffocating him in those matches. But Desarted took whatever that round was in between, like, right, we need to wake up now, or it's big trouble. Because after a reset of that fashion, any momentum is opposite direction. It's not just gone, it's being taken away. And that is the worst thing to deal with such a rushdown heavy character. He could have easily, I think, swept 6 games straight if K-Top was still working on that. But Desarted, a game on the board, signs of life from the Russian, but he has a lot more work to do.
Definitely a speed bump in the very fast cruising that K-Top was doing. Either way, it's like, oh, this stand one, surely a dropped combo right there. And Desarted just gonna walk down K-Top, using that air polar axe just in case he's on the approach. Flawless block on that leap on the way in. Forward 2 into the creeping ice as well, but the instant jump from K-Top gets punished on the way down. Great presence of mind from Desarted to be patient, wait that one out.
That back one's been a mighty good tool for him so far. Goes for a side switch as well. No, can't quite get it. The slide did a bit too much damage. But Desarted, this is looking a little bit more like the Desarted sub that we know. I mean, even down to the round 1 start slide. How about that?
Yeah. As soon as you hear the fight, the sub is already sliding. So almost 40% damage right there. Desarted going to confirm that down one on hit. Gets himself out the corner. He is going to be bleeding a little bit over here from that flame carpet, but ultimately winning the damage trade right there. 2-1 creeping ice gets a nice bit of pushback as well, and throw escape.
That was a delicious conversion, I really got to say. A 1-2 catching a jump out, and Desarted just like that. If he wins this game, we're either just about to hit that halfway point, or the tournament's over. The reverse sweep, the stealer of all pressure, as now the damage on the floor is very, very high indeed. Desarted taking a bunch of chip, the advancing plus frames.
Plus frames, he chose to go for the down one as well, giving up his turn. He's alive, but the jump 1 air to air is gonna be what K-Top needs. So he's now on reset point.
Fight.
K-Top definitely.
A lot is riding on this round, Falcon. Can you imagine the amount of work that is different from either now to if Desarted wins this game and the next?
My God, I mean, yeah, this is just crazy right here. I mean, the slide being blown up. I don't even know. K-Top is like in fight or flight mode right now. As we are seeing the flame carpet go down again. Desarted challenging with those down ones. The 3-3 punish, that's optimal. Oh, it's gonna hurt. Breakaway has to be used with the down 2.
Can't quite get the micro dash into down 2 though. Desarted, in some ways, would have almost hoped for that because it gives him fatal blow. And this fatal blow could be his ticket to a comeback. K-Top, only a little bit of work left now. Punish!
What a reaction right there. Or a read. Got the block. Desarted now. Really needs to try and make something happen, but it's becoming so much harder. Flawless block on the interactable, but the grenade launcher through the slide. Great call out from K-Top right there, who is going to be resetting this bracket, knocking things back to a 0-0.
It wouldn't be Evo without a bracket reset. That's what I'm talking about. And now only one set remains. 2 players, a tournament that's had a significant amount of players in it. And I think across all of PlayStation tournaments, we've had so many players in EU, North America, I think fully embracing this online opportunity. And now with Evo, there's only 2 left. I love that. I live for that. And now we'll see who's going to be the best of this. It's quite poetic for me. There's going to be a lot of Twitter, whoever wins this, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's going to be a lot of that. I mean, but, you know, winning Evo definitely warrants a pop-off. I'm not going to lie. Like, for sure. Like, it's definitely a statement to make, especially when you play. I mean, all 3 of the represented regions from Mortal Kombat 11 are incredibly stacked. North America, Europe, and Latin America. There's just monsters that play this game in all 3 of these regions. And, you know, this is really just a display of how solid the players are. And this is only just one of the regions, you know?
Mortal Kombat is truly a game that is played by so many people from so many different parts of the world. You know, even to this day, you can get parts of South America having 100-man Ultimate MK3 tournaments. Like, that's just how much dedication exists around the world. And with this kind of tournament now, Desarted, a player who's just been on the rise for a year and a half. K-Top, for those that didn't know, hailing from Greece, had mandatory military service and was unable to play in the first year of MK11. That's why you didn't see him anywhere. He missed the entire first year and had to catch up. And now here he is in EVO 2021, online grand finals. That is a ridiculous story for me. And just before I can even finish that, man's taken around already. Look at it. Oh, look at the game.
Threading the needle with that forward 3 as well. Forward and 2 has been doing so much work for him. Desarted with a great anti-air right there. Uses the amplification on the slide. Throws Jackie out the corner, but not going to matter too much as he's building towards that throw. Sorry, the KB from the slide. On the extension from it, we're seeing a raw creeping ice being used as well. K-Top with the plus frames trying to make something happen, but Desarted backing off a little bit, only to be clipped by the grenade launcher. A little bit scrambly right now, Ketchup. Can't lie.
Absolutely, but if someone has a round up on you and it's a bit of a scramble, that's only going to favor one person. K-Top has 1 bar of meter to spend. If he can get that on a clean opening, Yo decided no confirm off the low, but there's the overhead. But again, he doesn't believe. If he believed, that was the round.
Really was, just doesn't want to overcommit, and the short hop attack is not going to work out. K-Top is either reacting to all these short hops or is just making solid reads. I think they're reactions, but either way, consistency in blocking these short hop attacks that Desarted has been unable to get away with, and that punish was the game, you know. And after a reset, going from that momentum, getting the first game on the board for yourself is a very good way to start things off.
So let's talk about how that game ended. Desarted not really playing like Desarted with the Sub-Zero that we know. He does the trip guard on the back 3, doesn't confirm, does the whole string, damage on the table. Dedicates to a forward 2, does creeping ice and not rising ice. The Desarted that we've been seeing for months on end with Sub-Zero would have done rising ice without question.
Yeah.
This time, again, I can only imagine it's due to the pressure, does creeping ice instead. Yes, it hit, but that could have been a full combo. And that would have been full combo into uppercut that K-Top would not be able to challenge even if he broke. That game was won twice, but Desarted didn't believe, he didn't dedicate, he didn't play like himself. And because of that, K-Top takes the first game.
Yeah, I think what you said is just totally right. It's totally on point. It's just a matter of Desarted really just seems like he's sort of in his shell. He only pops out at times to you know, just pop out for a little bit, but he seems like he's kind of playing within his shell. And he seems a little bit uncomfortable, just generally speaking. Like right there, he just got clipped straight away by K-Top. Just like that, he's going to turn this into huge damage and has Desarted in the corner. That whiffed up too. See, like, it seems like he's a little bit shaky right now. That was a great down 2 though.
Lots of uppercuts to start this round. Pretty even on the life so far. The far leap, I think he just wants to create some of that space maybe. And the air back 1. Better than nothing. A bit of damage, we'll take that. 2-2 as well. This time the air to air. Doesn't amplify it though. This time though, the flawless block. Okay, there's the overhead again, but again, just doesn't believe in it. He is just playing like he doesn't have rising ice.
Yeah, I mean, the rising ice combo would have killed over there most likely. If not, he would have gotten a very late breakaway, which could have been nice for you. But at this point, you got to really worry about getting opened up by Jackie Briggs with that fatal blow on deck. Oh, had to break.
Double blast, and Decided showing it a lot of respect. The far leap whiffs the dash punch, but that's not enough. That could have been it. And another down 2. K-Top being a little bit too jump happy as Decided takes the first round.
I feel like K-Top jumps more when he's doing better.
That can definitely be a blessing and a curse. Blessing meaning you can be a lot more overwhelming on pressure. Curse, if you get a bit too comfortable, it becomes predictable.
Yeah, you never want to be complacent, especially in grand finals. Here, oh, the back one forward did not connect from Disarded. We're seeing a potential whip punish opportunity from K-Top. Did not work out for him, as Disarded is going to turn this into a nice chunk of damage and build towards that slide KB.
Speaking of which, give us another. 32%, just like that. Disarded. Here we go. Just to worry about his lack of meter, though. Decide if he gets 1 bar on the board, it significantly changes what he can do.
Yeah, this is a really nerve-wracking moment right now, Ketchup. As we're seeing K-Top goes for that forward throw right there. I'm surprised Disarded didn't just pull the trigger on the down 2 like we saw earlier. All right, late grenade launchers being used in the 1-1-2 into the dash punch. Now setting K-Top at 1 round as well. We are tied rounds over here. K-Top still with a lead in this set.
That's the thing, I was about to say it myself. This may be even split on this game, but only one of them is in the lead. And this time, actually, the jumping 1-2-4. I do like those jump-ins where Sub-Zero can get a truly unbreakable 30%. It's so good. Whips the wake up down 2. Oh, my lord. He is getting blended, and that's the game, surely. He has to make a hell of a comeback, and this will survive, but barely. He has no meter, and Decided runs away with that one.
Never rest.
It seemed like Disarded, you know what you were saying about him not having fully woken up. It seemed like he was awake in that last round right there. We saw commitment to Rising Ice, baiting the wake-up options, generally being patient, the flawless block reversals. Disarded seems to kind of be, you know, mellowing down a bit. Based on the impression that he could be very nervous, we're seeing him mellow down. You know, play the game as he plays, as he has been playing this entire time. Because now, after the reset, we're at 1-1.
Yes, indeed. And now I wouldn't be surprised if we go game 5 all the way. It's just in the nature of things with these kind of players. Everyone in this top 8 today has the capability of winning this tournament, I think, because they've all been able to beat each other across just different months, different weeks, whatever it is. And this is, especially you and me, Falcon, we're no stranger to this with these two players. They've gone all the way before. They've had last round, last hit situations. And not going to magically change now just because it's Evo, but it would be poetic to continue, wouldn't it?
I think it really comes down to a testament of how much these guys have practiced just before Evo, hasn't it? Like, just how much they really wanted this win as they're both here in the grand finals. Disarded turning things into a nice chunk of damage right there. Block on the forward 2, but gets opened up by the creeping ice as you see Disarded slowly walk his way back, inching forwards and getting that forward throw.
Sub jump punch Decided, going to show up the respect. Didn't have meter to interrupt it, so having to hold it for now. Stay content with his life lead. Definitely expect some kind of grab there. Gets a button into another grab. I think that's always a bit of a weird mix-up, right? Where you expect the grab, it doesn't come, and then you block, then you get grabbed. It's like, oh.
Yeah. It can be a very tilting experience to be hit by many throws in a row. But that air-to-air into the down 2 is going to be the round for Disarded, who now gets himself a lead in this set, which is really important. Now, you know, lest we forget, he came into the grand finals in winner's side, so for him to only now establish the lead, still better than what was happening, I guess, pre-reset.
Wow, the active frames of that jump kick, and he still manages to find the slide. That was a clean little reaction. Decided he's just about to take the second game if he plays his cards right. The advancing forward 4 whiffs. Full jump in now for K-Top. Coming from this. Knockdown. Not a lot of meter spent, only 1 bar. Another bar getting spent on the pressure, and there is plenty of it. And plenty of plasma on the floor. Man is melting.
It really is. The fatal blow for both players as well. Oh, the double fatal! No punish.
They trade! Oh, no! What was that? What the hell was that?
He did the same thing back, Ryan. He just says this a counter poke fatal. Sure. He just knew that it was gonna work in that at that space right there. And Disarded now has the point lead. He's 2-1.
One more game and we could have an Evo champion for European MK11 this year. Disarded winning it all would be such a story, because even to get into this top 8, you know, he defeated Arn Kratos 3-0. For those that don't know, Arn Kratos, pretty much his teacher, his tutor in Mortal Kombat 11. They both played Shang Tsung, and I think Desarted learned so much from Arn Kratos that the first time he was able to actually beat Arn Kratos in tournament was a very emotional moment for him, because he's practiced with him for so long, and now here he is beating him again to get into top 8. He's one game away from winning the entire thing as a player who has become one of the biggest breakout performers of the year and a half, and the online grind has been the only reason of that.
It really has. I mean, it's been just so much leveling up over time, and just so much of his own dedication and commitment to the game, and putting in his own time, learning, playing his own way, developing his own play style. And, you know, we're now seeing just what that brings you, as we're seeing the back one into Ice Ball to start things off into the Rising Ice. All of that was unbreakable right there. K-Top didn't even spend the breaker, not like he needed to, but the throw escape from Desarted. Desarted looking like a, honestly, just very imposing character right now.
Absolutely. A raw jump in and the low blocks now for K-Top. If your blocks are ever going to level up, it has to be right here, right now, because you might only have one more game here, my friend. Full screen game, a little bit of the plasma. Good for Desarted that he's actually blocking them rather than having them touch the floor. They touch the floor, the damage exists. You block them, they go. Best case scenario. However, this jump in certainly isn't a full combo for K-Top. Fatal blow. Ay, just the raw jump in to connect.
That's very, very active frames, actually punishing that down one on whiff as well. Now, Desarted, I sort of question the idea of not breaking that combo over there as well in the last round, but right now we're seeing a lot of the flame carpets go out. Once again, these jump back twos, the jump twos have just been doing so much for K-Top throughout the entirety of this bracket.
Even more of it. Desarted has had a common issue here of no defensive bar. There's that 3-3 end of the side switch. Gives us the better corner positioning and a throw. I think the way things are going, we're likely to have a final game on our hands, but only time will tell. Don't want to jinx it.
Unsure of how this one's gonna go. Just seeing that 4-3 being blocked. Desarted being really patient. Oh, tried to get the pickup. Not close enough to make that count. Forced to use the breakaway over here.
Whoop!
You know what? Why not?
Axes. Man was swinging the axes. Here comes another. 3 axes.
Okay, what's breakfast? Oh, he tried to do the walk-up throw. Slide is not gonna cut it. And just like that, catch up.
Would you believe it? Final game. Final game right here between K-Top and Desarted. Probably going to be the exact same characters, the same play styles. No time left for error, because there's only one champion for this.
There's just no reason to switch, really. There's no reason to defer from anything that is going on right now. Just stay as is. Both these guys, this is an absolute sweat fest, which is exactly what we expected throughout the entirety of this top 8, especially over here in the grand finals, as we are now going to witness the final game between two insane players over here to represent Mortal Kombat 11 Europe and show who is coming out on top.
I love to see the celebration of younger talent. You know, K-Top is one of our younger players in the scene. Desarted is absolutely one of our youngest competitively right now, and what a crazy 10 years it's been for all of us in the Mortal Kombat scene. You know, long gone are the days of things like MK9 and stuff like that, where, you know, we're all washed up commentators and stuff, and now you kind of just have this new generation really spearheading competitive MK and playing it at a level higher than I've ever been able to reach. You know, it makes me real proud. However, the final game begins. K-Top and Desarted. Only one Evo champion happens today. Oh, trip guard! And there's the combo.
Okay, no break right now from K-Top. He's gonna hold that 32%. Surely he's gonna break over here after the Rising Ice. No, he's holding his bar. Interesting.
Oh, that wasn't intentional. That was a missed input. K-Top kind of giving that round away, saving the defensive bar to try and make a comeback, but then giving himself up on a plate anyway. Tournament point for Desarted.
That didn't feel like a K-Top round at all, Ryan. I don't know what happened. You can't give that round away right now.
No, sir.
Desarted, he's gonna really have to take advantage of that opportunity that's just been bestowed upon him by K-Top's errors. Kato now gets anti-aired over there. The down 2 KB. It is going to get rid of that flame carpet, but the double down 2 for over 30% damage. And that back throw with the Oki to Grant as well. Had to break.
Incredibly close this is. There's the overhead, and now Desarted is starting to believe in it. And there's the anti-air as well. Another back one. K-Top, whatever he did on Wake Up there, it wasn't blocked. Man was looking for a reset. Cheeky little reset. But K-Top was scouting it out, blocking low first. It's always low overhead. That's the fuzzy. He's just walking up to you menacingly. That's what Sub-Zero does. He's almost got his fatal blow. That jump in is giving it to him.
Oh my goodness. Catch up. I'm not sure how this one's going to go. No. 1, 2. Nothing came of it. Backing off slightly. Forcing no commitment. Oh, he got it.
That is going to be the confirm he's looking for, and what nearly was a spaghetti fest at the end, it will be Desarted from Russia, winning EVO 2021 online. The Sub-Zero and Shang Tsung top level performance, but K-Top making it as close as it gets. This has been one hell of a top 8.
This has been an incredibly spectacular showing from everyone over here that entered EVO Online from Mortal Kombat 11 Europe to just bring us such an insanely talented top 8 with some high-level action and some sick gameplay, man. It's been awesome.
It's been a really fun show. It has been a phenomenal show, and I want to give a huge thank you to everyone involved, the production, the players, you for joining me, Falcon. It's been a great time. And
likewise, man.
This isn't where Mortal Kombat ends for EVO 2021. There's more territories covered, more top 8s to come, and plenty more games. I believe Street Fighter V is up next, and we'll be leaving you in the capable hands of, I believe, Tyrant and Logan Summer. So shout-outs to you chaps, repping UK esports well as always. Thank you all so much for tuning into this. If this is where you leave us, we appreciate your time. My name is Ketchup, joined by Falcon. This is and will be all weekend EVO 2021 online. Much love, peace out, and take